Okay. Let's go. Let's fucking get it.
Okay, catch you on the Tyreek Hill tour.
We live at the Fire Nights podcast, man, and it's certain moments that you have when you do these things, and I think it's more the moment.
These guys came from Woodford, Delaware. Where are you from?
Who's fighting right now? Who's fighting right now? Who's fighting right now? Who's Let me see him. Let me see him. Let me see him. Let me see him.
Listen, man, it's your boy Wit Us, man. Fire Nights podcast.
Let me see him. Let me see him.
Like early 90s.
Well, hello.
Yo, hey yo, it's Tuesday night. It's your boys. We back at it again. The boys are back at it. You could be anywhere in the world, man, but you're fucking with us tonight. It's the Tuesday night crew, man. Welcome to the Fire Nights experience, man. Black culture journey, sports entertainment, politics, current events. Let's talk about it. You know, that's what we do, man. Coming to you live, man, from Studio 7, man, / Area 51. That's what we do. We comfortable. It's Tuesday night. Once again, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all can be anywhere in the world, man, but y'all fucking with the guys, man. You know what I mean? We one man down, but we always 4 men strong. You know what I mean? Shout out to B Mac. Couldn't be here tonight. My God. But we're going to rock out. Fuck it. We're going to rock out, bro. We're going to rock out. What's good, man? You shining right now, man. God damn, you got the exclusive on. Yeah. To my left, man, if y'all don't know by now, man, I don't know what's up with y'all, man. If y'all don't know right now, man, to my left, to your right, man, it's my baby, man, the Ice Man. He got some exclusive shit on tonight.
Oh, yeah, man. Got my busy on representing, man.
Get this busy on. Is that a thing? Busy
gang, man. Let's get busy. It's almost that time. But, you know, man, I'm doing great today, man. You know, let's get it, man. Let's get it.
Let's turn up the night, man. What's going on to my right, to your left, man? If you don't know by now, man, you got your head in the sand. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Introduce yourself.
Hey, man, it's your guy, Fresh Fire, and I just like to say to all the people out there in the world, man, hello, and how are y'all?
Yeah. Real shit, man. Once again, man, I do want to give a shout out, man, to East Square Cigar Lounge, my favorite cigar lounge, your favorite cigar lounge. And if it's not, it should be Kirkwood Highway, man. We'll give them a visit, man. Shout out to O. We love you, boy, man. Big part of starting this shit, man. We love you, man.
Hell yeah, man. 3616 Kirkwood Highway, also better known as home. man.
So listen, man. Dog days of summer right here, man. Dog days of summer. We winding down the summer, getting closer to my time, man. But with that being said, man, you know how we start this shit off, man. We're not no strangers to this shit. You know how we start this shit off, man. Fresh, what you got you on fire, bro? What's got you on fire, man? What you on fire,
bro? Well, this one is titled, because I'm a grown ass man. And I do grown ass man shit. So, you know, at this point in my life, man, you know, not saying I try to disrespect anybody and that kind of stuff, man, you know, but certain things in my life just come with me everywhere I go, and I don't really try to hide the things that I'm into. I'm not into anything all crazy. So if you invite me, you invite me everything that comes with your boy Fresh 5. I've noticed I've run into some people who say they may not like my cologne. If you're picking up what I'm putting down. Yeah, so you get invited to a function. Hey, Brother Fire, we would like to come to the function and you know, he kind of turn your cologne down. What? Hold the fuck up. I'm pretty sure we living on Earth in 2022, and the type of things I like to do are pretty much open and honest with everybody else I like to do them with, in front of who I like to do them with, and there's no motherfucker holds bar about that. So, if you motherfucking invite me, I'm bringing my motherfucking marijuana, I'm bringing my motherfucking brews, I'm bringing my motherfucking liquor, I'm bringing my motherfucking energy, and all of that, or you don't want Brother Fire out your motherfucking function. For real, and one thing, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody who got any type of condition. They don't want to be around any smoke, or they don't want to be around a rowdy atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? That's sort of kind of what I bring. You know, but you know, I won't come. But don't motherfucking invite me if you don't want Brother Fire at your motherfucking function. I don't do well at quinceañeras.
Oh shit.
You know, I don't do well at motherfucking bar mitzvahs, motherfucker. I'm down with some motherfucking tomfoolery and chicanery. So if you're going to invite me and all of me, because I'm a grown ass motherfucking man and I do grown ass motherfucking man shit. That's what's got your boy.
God damn, don't like that man unless you gonna let him be him.
Man, look, man, I don't ask much of people, man. I mean, I'm saying I'm not gonna be all belligerent and all of that, but I'm coming like how I'm coming. Did you not know how I was coming?
You need to put that on the t-shirt. I'm coming how I'm coming.
You know what? Trademark, copywritten by the Fire Next Experience. I'm coming how I'm fucking coming. I'm coming how I'm fucking coming.
Coming how I'm fucking coming.
Yes.
Hey
sis, all right now. I'm coming how I'm fucking coming.
Comments, bro. Comments.
That's all period.
I'll say this, right?
Whatever that is. We're gonna run with it. Comments, bro. Thoughts?
With that, man. Hey, man, I don't go no place because I
I'm chunky right now.
y'all know I intake, man. Y'all know I intake. So I try not to go. If I can't intake, I try not to be there. You know what I'm saying? I try.
Oh, I can't intake. All right.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with some shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with that.
Hey man, nothing wrong with that, man. Hey, listen, man.
Before we get into anything else, then what happened this weekend, Fresh? Like, what happened, man?
What you mean?
I heard the fellas at the table got something.
We got something?
No.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
It didn't happen. It didn't happen. Put that on the back burner. Put that one on the back burner.
That got scheduling and issues happen.
Yeah.
You know, life. We're gonna call it life. Life happens. You know what I mean? life happens, and you know we move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But we will be back. Shout out to the Westchester Community Center, man. We apologize, man. Shit happens, but
That's not what I was talking about.
Okay, what was you talking about?
We didn't receive something this weekend.
Oh, wait a minute.
Well, it must not be important for you. It must not mean nothing, man. But it
No,
must-
hold the fuck on.
Walk through our shenanigans, man. Walk with us, niggas.
The
Man.
Fire and Nice experience over the weekend, we had the honor and privilege of being named a hometown hero on the Wake Up Women's Show with Hanif Salam. They put us up there with other greats. They put us up there with so many greats from our own side of town, from where we're from. And to me, I know for me, when he just said my name and he said our name, man, you couldn't motherfucking chill with a smile off my motherfucking face. When I was listening to it, I'm like, oh shit, we hometown heroes. And really the studio is really like 100 steps from where I fucking grew up. You know what I'm saying? So we really hometown heroes, man. And coming from a good brother, Hanif Salam, man, who does his radio show, Wake Up Wilmington, every motherfucking Sunday.
Wake up!
Every Sunday on Delaware's first and only black-owned radio station, 95.3 FM.
Yes,
You
sir.
know what I'm saying? He does his thing. And also on the Fire and Nice channel, he's also got his own show that drops every Sunday, Real Talk with Hanif Salam. You know what I'm saying? Second season. He's been giving up, dropping jewels all over the place. Thank everybody who's been chiming in, been following us and walking with us. But for me and the Fire and Nice experience, all of us from the east side, right there from that dirt and that mud, right there in that cement, that concrete, for us to be named hometown heroes and be put with some of those, all those great people, that was such a fucking honor. Thank y'all, man. Salute.
Definitely thank y'all, man. Thank you, Hanif, for even thinking of us, you know what I'm saying? I know we appreciate it. I really appreciate it, man.
Shout out to the brothers. Shout out to the
It's an honor, though, man.
Absolutely.
Just being a hometown hero, you know what I mean?
Authentic clap. We didn't set out to do that shit. That's not an intentional thing. Go ahead, bro.
Definitely didn't set out to do it. You know what I mean? Just trying to do stuff.
Speaking of which, man, the backstory, though, man. Like, for those that don't know, man, you know what I'm saying? For those that don't know, man, this shit really, some origins, man, on this shit, man. These two niggas, man, started this shit, man, down at the Chase Center, right?
Nah.
Deeper than that?
Yeah,
Deeper than that.
Before that, yeah. Well, it first started, we just busted up on the phone one day. You know what I mean? This dude, we arguing about basketball and shit. It was something about Rudy Gobert.
Yo, was Rudy Gobert like the fucking
Arguing about the argument.
Rudy, we love you because you might be a catalyst in this shit.
Like everybody else that argue with their friend, motherfucker, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? And we should do a podcast and shit. Like, fuck it, we're gonna do a podcast. But just so happens, the next day, one of our homies he's the director, whatever you want to call it, at DTV, Channel 28. The next day, it's fresh. Yo, I'm trying to stir something up. You know what I mean? Whatever, blase. Fresh like, oh man, Malay was just talking about that. He like, come on down. So actually, our first.
Give him the image. Hold, give him the image. Put the image up, bro. Put the image up. This is the original image of, you know what I mean, it was popping. Keep talking. Now I'm
Yeah, you know what I mean? So
we get to the people.
we got at BTV, first ever, you know what I mean, time in front of a mic podcast. We had the.
What year was this? What year was this?
Man, I want to say 2020, right?
Yeah.
The beginning of 2020.
2020, the beginning of 2020.
Beginning of 2020, I want to
the
say.
Babyface Spinster.
I want to
The
say
Babyface Spinster. You know?
around February, March, we going to DTV, and we lay down our first podcast. And then circumstances occur with the corona, shut the studio down and everything, you know what I mean? But you know, we decided like, hey man, we here now, so let's keep moving forward. You know what I mean? Without the studio and everything, and
Keep the shit going.
us moving forward brought you Fire and Ice, and we're here today.
Humble beginnings, man. Humble beginnings. Keep that up there for me. That's poignant. That's poignant. That's poignant. That's important. That's important.
This was the first time. That's what I'm saying. Listen, man. For people who think stuff don't happen overnight, not saying that we became a success overnight. I'm far from saying that, because we're not even a success right now. You know what I mean? We doing good, and we, you know what I mean? I love.
We alright.
I love.
We alright. I'm alright with myself, and you know what I mean?
I love the people that's watching.
Hell
But
yeah.
if I tell you, listen to me, I'll tell you. 2 days from inception of the idea to the next day, we were on air on a TV station, Channel 28. So it can happen
Positive
overnight.
thought. The power of positive thought.
It can happen overnight, man.
The power of positive fucking thought.
If you want to do something, don't let nobody tell you that it's a dream, it's worthless, man. It can happen at the snap, drop of a dime. And we people that it's proven to, you know what I mean? It happened in 2 days. Literally in 2 days.
They thought. It's crazy, man, cause bro, I almost remember it like it was yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, we arguing like about Rudy Gobert. And I just remember it was a couple things that really stood out. It was just like, I know bro was saying like, yo, it's time, man. It's time. And I was like, you know what it is? Fucking time. It's time to do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Not just time for me, you, us. It's time for everybody to do this shit. You know, if you haven't already started, jump into whatever you're jump into it right goddamn now. Because like you said, we talking about shit like, yo, we should get a podcast. And what it was, bro ain't hit me, but he came into my job. He came into my job and they was like, yo, brother Fire. Oh yeah, I'm going in the back, I go holler at him right now. So my man was like, yo, I can't remember dude's name, but he's somebody, man, he got a suit on. I know he's somebody got a suit on in the buffet, so I know something, you know what I'm saying? And then my good brother Al Thomas, you know what I'm saying, was like, yo, I was thinking, I think you would be right for a motherfucking show. And one of my favorite motherfucking phrases I like to say is, funny you ask. Funny you say that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just, I said, yo, me and bro was just, and then I remember the moment, I said, me and bro was already practicing. We already there. We hadn't already practiced, but I was like, nah, we great. We sit up like, nah, that's exactly what you talking about. Me and bro already did it a couple times. All right, to come to the studio. No problem. If you happen like that, man, if you happen like that. As the girl Hanif would say, man, positive, man, leads to positive, man.
Yeah, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, that anybody out there, man, look, y'all know me, man. I'm a big cheerleader for a lot of motherfuckers, man. Like, I'm never gonna say you can't do it. I'm never gonna say, it's too late. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? And like the good brother said, it ain't really overnight. How we got on was pretty fast, but we've been working, putting their grind, and you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be somebody out there like, yeah, they started this overnight, and they big overnight. Y'all gonna actually see and walk with us and see it ain't overnight, but some things do happen really, really bad. Yes, they do, man. That actual picture was taken what, 5 days? From like that, yo, really like
5 days.
within 5 days.
Within promo and everything. Within 5 days.
That was within like us thinking about it, having that conversation about fucking Rudy Gobert to that.
Actually,
To that.
Nah, not that day. I was gonna say actually that day, but it wasn't. We when we was at the Chase Center doing the game. But it wasn't that day.
Funny you say that. Don't let me dig in here and get the pictures out of us with Queen D Lionel. Holy smokes, man! Listen, we was going places, y'all. Man, look. We still going.
It's taking a little bit of time right now. But we was on that track.
Slow money, show money.
Yeah, we was on that track.
Slow money, show money.
Yeah,
And I want y'all to know one thing, and I'm gonna make this shit clear right now, August 30th, 2022. When we do get famous and make it, we ain't do no gay shit.
No funny. I heard that.
So don't even start that. Niggas make it because they do nah.
We invested in weed, motherfucker. And we come and how we come. We invested in weed, motherfucker. Let's fucking get it. I'm find one of them Johns.
I'm forever grateful for my brothers, man, because from them humble beginnings, man, sprung. Yo, what you doing? Yeah, I ain't doing nothing, man. Let's go in the backyard, man. Let's rock out, man. Let's do some shit, man. These niggas had that motherfucking vision, and they said, "Look, man, let's rock out. Here we are." Like I always say, you could be anywhere in the world, man, but you fucking with us. 3 niggas, 4 niggas, man. 4 niggas from over the way, from your city, specifically, E-Way all day, you fucking with us. Let's get it. Let's talk about that shit. So listen, let's talk about what we here to do.
What we here for?
What we here for, bro?
Talk that shit.
Nah, man, let's talk that shit. So listen, so weird shit going on in the world, man. First, let's get the weird shit out the way. Let's get the weird shit out the way. So a black pastor was arrested in May after a neighbor reported a suspicious person in the yard watering flowers. Said he is considered filing a racial discrimination lawsuit against his local police department. I'm gonna leave it at that. And I'm gonna let y'all pick through it.
What?
Thoughts?
Man, that's just another case.
Oh, let me read it again. A black pastor was arrested in May after a neighbor reported a suspicion. So let me preface it by saying, fill in the blank, doing X while black. A black pastor was arrested in May after a neighbor reported a suspicious person in the yard watering flowers. I'm gonna leave it at that. I ain't gonna say much more. I'm gonna leave it at that.
And on her property?
Let me give you some more context. She reported to the police officers a suspicious man watering a neighbor's flowers suspiciously. First thoughts. Let's go with first thoughts first. First thoughts. A neighbor reported there is a unsavory man watering flowers in my neighbor across the street
Unsavory.
at a neighbor's house.
Unsavory. Okay.
Now, mind you, I'll preface this by saying, fill in the blank, doing X, Y, Z while black. Thoughts?
That's definitely what I was thinking myself. It was fill in the blank while black. Who the fuck waters anybody else's motherfucking lawn or flowers with some criminal intent? And I'm glad it actually happened to actually turn out to be a pastor. You know, because you jumped the gun so motherfucking far, like, oh, it's unsavory. Is that the word? Unsavory?
Oh,
unsavory. Time out though. Not saying that any one of us would call the police, but what would you say if you came outside and see the fire watering your shit?
What would I say?
No,
Okay.
It was watering somebody else's lawn.
But
Well,
but when you see them watering your shit, what would you say?
It wasn't, the facts was not that they were watering her lawn.
Yeah.
They were watering, an unknown individual was watering a neighbor's lawn.
I understand that. But what would you say if you walked or looked out your window and see someone you didn't know, watering your plants and stuff?
It's funny you should say that.
What would you say? Would you say,
okay,
go ahead?
To
Or
answer
would you
your
go
question,
outside and confront?
to answer your question, that would be peculiar. That would be peculiar. Yes. That would be peculiar. That would be worthy of me saying, who's that nigga? Me as a black man would probably be, now, me as a quote unquote nigga, who the fuck's that nigga? Like, damn, man. Damn, what's face ass nigga? Don't put that picture up. What face nigga? I would probably say, damn, who that nigga? What would you say?
If I come out of my door, my house, and I see you watering my neighbor's lawn.
No! Your lawn or your plants.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, hey, how you doing, sir? Or ma'am? And you are? I am gonna say like, who are you? Why are you watering my plants? If I don't know you,
Can I provide some more context?
please.
The Karen in this situation is a neighbor of both individuals. The pastor in this case happens to be the next door neighbor of the Karen.
Yeah.
And she didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we get to.
But now that's I'm saying, listen, if I don't know you, even if we neighbors, that I'm saying that's their problem. I don't know how that's possible. You walk in car, it could be possible. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask some context.
It could be possible.
Oh, thoughts first. Thoughts. These are three individuals in the same neighborhood.
That part now. Now with that context, sort of like, I probably know you or should know you. If we all live in a couple blocks, you my neighbor. If I call you my neighbor, if you my neighbor, I actually have seen your face or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's my neighbor. Okay, so now you water my plants. If my neighbors water my plants, I'm cool with that. My neighbor, if I recognize and identify you as my neighbor, oh, that's my neighbor. I may not have asked you, but I see you a good person in the community. You may have done this before. You may have not done this before, but as long as you ain't hurt nobody, go ahead, water the plants if I recognize you as my neighbor.
Right now, as I'm listening, I can't even fault her. I fought the police.
Interesting you should say that.
I fought
Interesting
the
that you should say that.
Because when the police finally arrived, and y'all find out his address and all that shit is right here, and I'm the neighbor and all that, why do you still arrest me?
Let's ask some context.
Now I can see her calling because, like I said, she might not have recognized him or seen whatever, and it's a strange man just out there watering plants. I'm white, you black, okay, Karen, whatever. You got that. We give you that.
Let's ask
But when the police come,
pastor arrested by Alabama police as he was watering his neighbor's garden while they were out of town to get home with Wit Us now. But what Pastor Michael Jennings is saying after the ordeal. Good morning. All right, straight. Driving while black, walking while black, golfing while black, swimming while black, napping while black, staying in an Airbnb while black, sitting in a Starbucks while black, bird watching while black.
breathing while
This is
black.
what kind of part of vernacular is. And look, you're not talking about plenty of these stories here. Add to this now, watering your neighbor's plants while black. That's what this pastor was doing, and police were called on him. And now we have this police body cam video that shows how he goes from literally a water hose to handcuffs in just a couple minutes.
I ain't did nothing suspicious. I'm nothing wrong. Listen, told him I'm a pastor. I pastor to all of these. You want to lock me up? Lock me up.
This newly released police body camera video shows the arrest of an Alabama pastor who
It is showing the arrest of an Alabama pastor.
Do what you got to do. Go right here.
He did not resist arrest.
Michael
It's
Jennings.
just a simple matter of his neighbors not knowing who he was, not being aware of who's in your community.
And started questioning him. This vehicle is not supposed to be here. You're not supposed to be here.
I'm Pastor Jack.
Now, mind you, let's add some context here because the path now for full context and full disclosure, the pastor is watering the plants of one of his congregation's members who lives in the neighborhood. His next door neighbor happens to be the individual who called the authorities. I guess something needs to be said about not knowing who your neighbors are. To me.
Not just
You gotta know who your neighbors are almost. Or is that realistic or no? Because me personally, I need to know who my neighbors are. I need to know who you look like, who are you? Because if I live across the street from you and you're watering another neighbor's lawn, I should kind of know, or should I not? Or should it just minding my business?
that's
Which one is it?
well, actually, you can check off both of those boxes. To some extent, you know, I do have, you know what I'm saying? I do say, like, you can't be worrying about what's going on in somebody else's stuff. You feel what I'm saying? So if this pastor, whoever it is, they're watering someone's flowers, regardless of if you say they look unsavory or not, that ain't even your business, first of all. But second of all, these people actually lived in a very close vicinity to each other.
it wouldn't be a story if the police didn't arrest him. Why did the police arrest him if he lived right there? I'm watering the plants right here. I live right there. I'm going to show my ID. I'm going to tell you I live right here. Why do I still get arrested? It's the police we need to talk about.
That was what it could have been anybody. Like, yo, I'm watering the plants.
Y'all just admitted. Y'all would have questioned the motherfucker, she's not us. Like you said, y'all, we niggas. Even us, we would have questioned a black man out there. So her thing is, no, I'm going to call the cops. I'm not going to question him. Now it's the cops' duty to come out there and find out why he out there. And they still arrested him. Why?
True.
Why? We wouldn't know about this story if the cops came and said, okay, there's a misunderstanding. He lived right there. It wouldn't be a story. It wouldn't be a story. It's a story because the cops arrested him.
Yeah. Where was this at again?
Alabama. This is in Alabama.
Alabama, come on, man. We got to talk about the police. Man, she called the cops. Man, we ain't got to say she know her neighbor. Man, she can sit in the house all day, having to look out the window and see a strange, a black motherfucker she ain't never seen in the neighborhood watering plants. So she called the cops. Why the cops arrest him?
That's not weird to you that you don't know the pastor across the street?
No, it's not. I don't know all my neighbors. and don't care to know all my neighbors.
Okay. That.
I don't, you know what I'm saying? But if my neighbors call the cops on me in front of my house or a house next to my house, when the cops come and I can prove that I live here,
Now,
and that
let the record reflect, that's what the pastor said. The pastor did say, I'm not giving you nothing. I'm not giving you any ID out of the cross street. Proceed.
I can't speak on that. I can't speak on what he's, you know what I mean? I heard him say he wasn't giving them nothing. But hey, that's the consequences you gotta take. Sometimes you gotta take the high road. Sometimes you gotta take the high road, man. It ain't always cool to be, you know what I mean, opposite, man. You know what I'm saying?
Thoughts, bro?
Now you did that. I hope you're not thinking you're gonna get a lawsuit and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just, it is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. She can call the cops on whoever she wants.
That's what I'm saying. Be here.
And the person, and as I heard in the story, the person whose house he was at was out of town.
He was quote unquote tending to their lawn. Tending to their house while they was gone.
And that's what I'm saying. Oh, the other neighbor might have knew they was out of town too, but didn't know they had people coming through the lawn and water the grass. Now, when the cops get there, they gotta sort that out, man. You can't. I
definitely agree with.
I applaud the pastor for
The pastor.
minimal resistance.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at that. But the people are mad at as we are both in this situation. It's actually the police.
You ain't no pastor. Man, listen, I'm saying, now, let's be real, guys. Why wouldn't the pastor just give his ID? You're a pastor. Why?
I can play the audio. We can play the audio.
I heard it. Why? I understand you.
He did say he just wanted to comply. After a while, he said he wanted to comply. He just wanted to comply because he realized he could have ended up dead and yada yada yada. Which is why the situation didn't escalate as much.
Yeah, but but that's what I'm saying. A pastor, if the police approach a pastor and they ask me what's going on, I wouldn't think the pastor would get irate. No matter what the situation is, you're supposed to be cool as a fan. What the situation is. And you got irate.
The man of God, right?
You know what I'm saying? What?
Okay.
That's fair. I guess that's fair. I mean, because you are supposed to be showing a little bit better. I don't know if that was the best example of how to deal with police in that situation. It wasn't a bad one, you know, but as a pastor, you know, some may say you may have to carry yourself a different way. Why shouldn't you just pull your, if they ask for, why shouldn't you just pull out your ID if everything's copacetic because you're a pastor? You know what I'm saying? So it was like a lot of other pastors could just comply. I can't say you should or shouldn't, but as a pastor, a lot of people looking at you in a different light. Interesting.
Check the police, man.
Yes. Now that part is where Iceman. I mean, I can't say I seen that in the beginning. I'm like, okay, well, the pastor did this thing, the cops, whatever. First, I was looking at the lady who called the cops. He made me see, she can call the cops. I can make you know you out of town and all this and that. Even though I'm up in Oklahoma, you should mind your business. But when the cops are called, they should be able to sort all of this out.
Where no one gets arrested.
Right, you know what I'm saying? I live here, I'm at the people a lot of town. She'll tell you, or maybe not, you know, but the average, I'm just ordering the flowers. Make it pretty, you know what I'm saying? I'm passing out the Jenkins. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm passing out the Jenkins figure.
You know, I'm a community, upstanding citizen in the community. I'm Pastor Melvin Jenkins. You know, those type of things would have helped greatly diffuse the situation.
That's how you supposed to used to be doing missionary work door to door. The community should
I'm
know
out
who you
here
are.
doing missionary work.
The community should know
for my
who you are.
congregation who was out of town. They asked me, what are their flyers right out of town? That's why I'm here. I'm the pastor.
You don't live on the next block. You live on across the street.
I'm the pastor, Melvin Jenkins. And I hear you know, I'm the pastor, Melvin
Police
Jenkins.
in Alabama, man. I'm saying the Karen did what Karens do. But after the fact, if I live right there, man, and I still get arrested,
Yeah, that's the police.
that's the police,
That's the
man,
police.
not doing your job.
Moving on. In more of the world of bizarre, mind you, keep in mind we are supplied by these topics by our brother who is not here, who is Mr. Wonderland. Shout out to B Matt. A video of a 12-year-old student holding a gun, banging on the door of a school bus, circulated on social media before she was arrested, according to Louisiana police. At around 2:30 p.m. on Friday, August 19th, officers responded to a report of an aggravated assault at a location about 3 miles north of the school where the child is a student. According to the New Orleans Police Department, the student goes to Akil Academy, a pre-K through 8th grade school. According to WWL-TV, school officials did not respond to a request for comment from the McClatchy News. I don't trust any news that's named McClatchy. Officers arrested the 12-year-old student on August 19th and charged her with aggravated assault with a firearm. According to the New Orleans Police Department, also charged her mother with principal to aggravated assault and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. So, this goes to the adage of if they hit you, you hit them back. This young lady banging on the door of a bus, coming back for retribution. Thoughts?
What the fuck is going on in the world today, Craig? Shit going on in the world, man. You need top flight security. What the fuck just happened? How old are these kids? Man.
12-year-old.
With a gun, hey, listen.
Hey, I need that one-on-one. Yo, man. Hold on, man. Just for things, they cross many lines, man. You know, to 12 years old, you cross many lines. I mean, you had to have some conversations with yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Let me add, the mother is there.
Yeah.
With her at the bus?
The mother is there.
That's that part, man. Read that again.
Let me read it again. Let the record reflect.
I missed that part.
Hold on. Let's let the record reflect.
You fabricating shit. Nah, read it. She ain't shoot nobody.
That's crazy, right?
Why she ain't shoot nobody?
A mother and daughter are arrested for confronting a bully with a gun on the bus. A video of a 12-year-old student holding a gun and banging on the door of a school bus circulated on social media before she was arrested, according to Louisiana police. At around 2:30 p.m. on Friday, August 19th, officers responded to a report of an aggravated assault at a location about 3 miles north of the school where the child is a student. According to New Orleans Police Department, the student goes to Akil Academy, a pre-K through 8th grade school, according to WWL-TV. School officials did not respond to a request for comment from the McClatchy News. I do not trust the
That's too
McClatchy
close
News.
to ratchet.
Yeah,
You
that's
know what I'm
sounds too much
saying?
like ratchet.
Rickety. You know what I'm saying?
Officers arrested the 12-year-old student on August 19th and charged her with aggravated assault with a firearm. Yo, you got it, y'all.
You know what's
Right there.
You know what's ironic? I'm not sure what's going on these days with these parents and people. They running up all these buses or running down all these buses. I've seen something else where a parent ran on the bus and you touch my kid again, I'm fighting all of y'all. Like, what is up with these parents, man? Like, yo, you can't be doing this in front of kids as a parent. You feel what I'm saying? That's one thing I'm an advocate of, man. Certain things a parent gotta be a parent about, kids gotta be kids about. For one. Now, the child being able to run around with a gun and all this, you know what I'm talking about, interfering and all this, there has been many lines that have been crossed by many people to even get to this point where you have a gun running down on a bus this early in the school year. What the fuck has been broken in you guys' lives to where this is where we at? School just started, and we got to here. What the fuck just happened, man? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on with our people, man? You just went from, oh man, I'm gonna kill first day of school. I got my leg, I got my shoes to boom, 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 boom.
It sounds like a scene off like straight out of Compton where it's like, you remember that scene?
Pull the post over. No. And he went on there, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Come on, man, what is going on with these buses, man? I mean, these parents, please, parents, and I know it's a lot on your plate these days too, but please, man, we cannot have our babies that's going to school being threatened or allowed to be threatened by negligent adult supervision. You know what I'm saying? We can't have that, man. We can't have people allowing people to like, hey, you need to go get your 5 minutes. Oh.
Do you, okay, so let me ask you this question. Do you subscribe to the whole adage, if they hit you, hit them back, or?
Yes, yeah. I'm not a turn the other cheeker. I'm not that, you know what I'm saying? You got out with that.
Are you a turn the other cheeker?
Yeah, at first I am. You know what I'm saying? I am. But if it but the thing that caught my eye in the news article is confronts a bully.
But they're 12 with a firearm. There's a lot to unpack there.
Nah, but what I'm
There's
saying,
a lot to unpack.
What I'm saying is the news article called the other little girl a bully.
Okay.
Now, would that be the one that was running down on the bus, or the one that was
the one that her and her mother confronts a bully?
Okay, gotcha. Well, now I'm saying confront the bully. I'm not saying that may not be the proper place to confront that bully in that manner. You know, there's other people around, you got a gun, this and that. That's something different. You know,
They bought a gun. Time out. Let me paint the picture for you. Because maybe we not clear, we not understanding the picture. They bought a gun to the bus stop and said, yo, open the door. I gotta holler at the nigga on the bus. I'm just saying.
I'm saying that's a little too extreme. That's a little too extreme. But like we all just know, school just started, so it's probably the first, second day wherever they from. You know what I mean? First, second day. That's a little extreme. But the way they categorized the other little girl already, the bully, or from went to the bus stop like, oh, we ain't having it this year. Nope. Nope, we ain't doing it this year. You ain't bullying my daughter this year. You know what I'm saying? We're not having it. We're not having it. So, you know what I'm saying? And then all that goes back to, man, like I said, man, listen. We talk about when parents, like I heard y'all, you know what I mean? I excuse myself for a minute, but I heard you talk about incidents where motherfuckers go to the bus. They be last straws. You know what I'm saying? They be last straws sometimes. When you go to the administration, when you go to the bus driver.
Desperate at that.
You know what I'm saying? When you go to the bus, you know what I mean? When you tell your kid to go tell the bus driver, go tell, and this bully keep fucking with your child.
Big Marv in the back of the motherfucking bus, fucking with you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So when it gets down to that, it be the extreme. So, you know what I mean? I try to look at it before it got there where it broke down. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't, like, I can't criticize or vilify somebody for the way they handle a situation if it got out of hand.
This is okay. So for context, we don't really have the context, but for somebody to bring a gun to the bus stop, I don't know. We have to assume that it's out of hand at that point.
That's what I'm saying. It got out of hand. Where's though? Because the little girl didn't get shot. It was a scare mechanism.
Okay.
It was a scare because they would have shot you. If they came to shoot you, they would have shot you.
Okay, that's fair.
If we came up here to shoot you,
I'm going to shoot you.
I'm going to shoot you. Yes, because it's like, yo, we went through, I don't know, but we went through all the hoops. We jumped on them all. We did everything y'all asked us to do. Now it's another school year. It's the third day. She done already talked shit the first and second day. No. Boo here, baby. Now, serious.
Now, ain't no here, baby. We going.
No, but I'm saying the little girl had the gun. Hand her the gun. Here, baby. We gonna scare the fuck out of this bitch. And she gonna get mad at me. And listen, hopefully she won't do this again because listen, I'm tired of this shit. I can't keep taking off work. I can't keep.
No, but that's the pressures of a parent.
Yes, I can't keep doing this.
It's the pressures of a parent.
I can't keep doing this.
It's the pressures of a gangster
The
parent.
school not doing what they supposed to do.
If you a gangster ass parent, chime in, but that's the pressures of a gangster ass parent.
Right now,
I can't call off work. I don't got that kind of
We
time.
can't keep doing
Where
this.
parents
Man.
getting pushed to the limits.
So if this little bully wanna be gangster, mommy got something for her. We know it ain't shit good. Mommy got something for her. This little bit. Oh, she thinks it's a game. Okay, I'm gonna go down there with you. You gonna listen? Tell her, listen, we not playing. My daughter might be a punk, but I ain't no punk.
Right. We not having that over here. We ain't no punk.
Yeah, like we ain't gonna fuck.
We ain't no punk.
Her,
We
we
ain't
fuck alone. Man, listen, we just had, me and the girls had a conversation.
Battle out of Summit.
And just how you was asking me how I would, and like I told him, I was like, yo, I teach my daughter, listen, motherfuckers fucking with you. Go tell the teacher. You know what I'm saying? Next time, motherfucker keep fucking with you, I'ma ask the teacher for a parent conference. I want to sit down with the other parents, like, yo, why you keep fucking with my kid?
Right.
Now, in that meeting, I don't give a fuck if I get locked up or nothing. I'm gonna let that other parent know in that meeting. If your daughter keep fucking with my kid, I'm gonna fuck you up. Woman or man, I'm gonna fuck you up. Now, it's your decision on on what you and your child gonna do when y'all go home. Are you gonna sit down with your child and tell your child to leave my daughter the fuck alone? Or you gonna take it for what it's worth and call my bluff? It's up to you. It's up to you. Cause I know kids will be kids.
Yo,
I know kids will be kids.
You pretty too quiet, bro.
I know kids will be kids. They're gonna pick on kids. It's a little pecking order. It's all that, you know what I'm saying? I know kids gonna be kids. But you gonna teach your kid not to fuck with moms. Or I'm gonna fuck with you. Now, it's whenever you go home, and you however you explain it to your child, you explain it to your child. But that's how it's gonna be.
I tried.
I'm gonna say that in front of the principal, the advisor, the vice principal, the gym teacher. I'm sitting there, man, and then if y'all wanna get me arrested for terroristic threatening, I'm taking that. But you going out, hey, let your daughter or son come to school and say something else to my kid or do something else to my child. I'm gonna literally take it out on you. So if you don't want me to take it out on you, talk to your child about, you know what I'm saying?
I can dig it. Closing thoughts, bro.
I totally agree on what Iceman said. Like, kids are gonna be kids, and I'm not getting into that kid stuff. But like you say, breaking it down and going through the steps, I was like, yo, that's exact visualization. Like, yo, I'm gonna go in there and talk to the people. Like, yo, you better huddle up everybody around this motherfucker, man. Yo, I'm telling you right goddamn now, man, we're choosing a different way to deal with this next motherfucking time. You hear what I'm saying? Pop, uncle, whoever the fuck you is, you know what I'm saying? Like, fucking with you now. Now I'm saying your motherfucking head. I know my motherfucking peoples wasn't fucking with you. So now I'm fucking with you when you wasn't fucking with me. So that's just how that goes.
That's how it
That's
goes.
just how that goes.
Call my bluff. Call my bluff. I'm gonna see you.
I'm not getting kid shit. I'm not getting kid shit. I'm saying like, and I'm gonna say this in front of everybody who will listen. Cafeteria lady, bus driver, you know what I'm saying? Teacher, advisor, counselor, like you said, gym teacher. Yo, I'm telling you, it's gonna be something to fuck different next time, man. I'm just not afraid. I'm not afraid that part was gonna come. That part, man, you're not fucking with my motherfucking child again, ever again, or it's gonna be on your motherfucking head and shoulders.
I don't want my daughter to fight.
Yeah.
I don't never want my daughter in no fight.
Nah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't even want my sons fighting. You know what I mean? But you're a man. You know what I mean? You're a man. Shit happens. But I don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm a parent now. I don't want to see a motherfucker.
I don't want to deal with this shit.
Punching. I don't even want to see you getting punched on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And just because it's people of your age group, I can't do anything, and you punch. No.
Yeah, I can't get in there.
So we gonna avoid all that. I'm trying to avoid all of that.
Damn.
I'm trying to avoid all of that.
I gotta see somebody from your side of the tracks, man. I gotta see somebody like, wow, look at man, look, man, something like that.
I don't want to get punched on.
Right. But
The fuck?
He's a 40-year-old man.
I don't want to get punched on.
I can imagine with a kid.
Yeah, like, come on, man. That daughter? No, you not
this is
do
what it's
that.
coming to, though. This is what it's coming to, like, man.
And I didn't see that the mother was fed up. Man, this like it's the second day. They just went back to school. And you come into the bus stop with a gun already. It had to be previous bullying that
That's what I'm saying. Like, what the
you know what I'm
fuck
saying?
is
It had to be
happening?
some previous shit. You bullied me all last year. And now these first 3-4 days we done caught the bus.
We
You
just
done
picked
bullied me.
up where we
back
left
down. You started it right back
off.
up.
Like, we just picked up where we left off. No, not this motherfucker. The joke's on you. Did not pull this motherfucker over. Leroy? Yeah, Leroy. Pull this motherfucker over, Leroy. Nah, fuck this. I'm telling you motherfuckers right goddamn now. We ain't having this shit this motherfucking year. I can see how that can go down, man.
Like, I can see it.
Now,
It was extreme.
I never said, yeah, I'm not advocating that.
I just want to.
But
Like
but that's
yeah,
fair,
it's
man.
fair,
But
fair.
that's what I'm saying. It's fair because as I'm painting, because I already painted the picture. Fox already painted the picture, Coach. You've been bullying me all last year.
That's
The
not
first
right.
couple days of this year, you bullied me. My mom, no, I don't want no smoke. My mom can't beat you up. You gotta scare this bitch. You gotta scare this bitch. I'm coming with you so you don't do nothing stupid. So that motherfucker don't go off and you don't do nothing stupid. But you got to scare the fuck out of this bitch because
you
gotta go to school. You can't be home. I can't take off. You gotta go. You have to go. You have to get on this bus. I can't take you.
Right.
You have to get on this bus.
And I'm gonna make you not gonna get messed with again.
Yes.
This motherfucking bus.
Baby, look, you gotta get on this bus.
You have to go.
Listen, I
Shout
gotta
out
go
to
work.
all the moms and they try to hear that shit.
Yeah, damn right.
Hey, yo, it's a dad I just saw. He went on the bus and threatened the bus. Nah, I'm not having this shit. The bus driver had to hold him the fuck. This was just, I saw it today, so it only had to be, since school started. He was on there. I'm like, God damn, this motherfucker's tripping already.
That shit,
That's what I was thinking, like,
the year before.
and you know what that other thing? I was thinking like, yeah, man,
School just started.
not having this shit this
It's
year,
not
man.
the year
Not
before.
having
You
this
know what I'm
shit, man.
saying? You can't, like, yo, man, been on this
Fucked up,
man,
man.
fucking with them. Kids be cool, man.
Moving on.
Cool.
Moving on.
Man. Fucked up, man.
So listen, we touched on this shit like maybe like I want to say maybe like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, right? And it involves process in regarding officers, right? Let's go there. Let's go there.
Okay, where you going?
Grady County, Oklahoma, right?
Oh,
An Oklahoma woman who was being detained in the back of a police car is accused of slipping out of her handcuffs, grabbing an assault rifle, and opening fire. And the wild incident was all caught on camera. It happened just outside of Oklahoma City. According to deputies, the woman identified as 36-year-old Rachel Zion Clay was only being detained for erratic behavior and wasn't going to be arrested. While in the back seat of the patrol car, she was able to get her wrist free from the handcuffs, and the handcuffs were put on property, said Grady County Undersheriff Gary Bogus, who spoke with KOKH TV about the incident. Bogus said the woman was able to reach into the patrol car's console and grab a rifle. There are several switches. One is a gun switch to unlock the gun lock, and she found it, unlocked the gun lock, and was able to retrieve an AR-15 rifle, said Bogus. Then she was able to figure out how to put a round in it, put it on fire, and then she fired approximately 10 rounds at our deputies and the civilian. In footage from the police car's dash cam, the woman is seen holding the rifle and holding it through the back window. Thoughts?
Where the fuck was the cops at all this time?
no.
Where the fuck was the police at all this time?
One of the main things that was going through my head the whole time is I was like, you know what, man, this is just another case of police ain't policing no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is the police? The police ain't policing the right way no more. Like, how the fuck you let somebody slip out, get the drop on you, all kind of shit? You out here telling
We
me,
discussed this a couple weeks ago too.
yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, what the fuck is going on? I just seen motherfuckers slip out today. He was running from motherfuckers. He just had to trip.
Man, where the fuck was the police at?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Do
saying.
all that. Learn how to load the gun and get the lock box and do all that. Where the fuck were y'all at? What the fuck were y'all doing?
I don't know, man.
What the fuck are y'all doing, man?
Weird, man.
Get the lockbox and get the gun out. Learn how to load the gun. Where the fuck were y'all at?
So, I think lost in all this is the fact that she did. Had that been executing XYZ while black, fill in the blank.
You know what, man? I'm ready to start a running tally of how many people died on our side as opposed to how many people lived through some crazy, you know what I'm saying, through the same miles, but through, but you're like, hey, man, we lost one over here, but these people over here, they making that. I'm ready. I'm ready.
You guys started tallying
down. One for them, they you know what I'm saying, like,
What if they was good cops?
You said, what if they just good cops?
What if they was good cops?
Every cop that don't shoot somebody don't gotta be a bad cop that kill people.
Nah, I didn't
He
say
could
that.
he could literally be going by de-escalation procedures and protocols.
No,
This is true.
What I'm saying is the police. I've been seeing more people running away and slipping out of handcuffs and getting into shit they ain't supposed to be getting into. Somebody took somebody's taser and started taking the police back. You know what I'm saying? All recently, I'm like, man, what the fuck? Motherfuckers have been emblazoned. I mean, you know what I'm saying, emboldened to do some crazy shit. And I'm like, what the fuck's the police doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't make sure the cuffs was locked in. You didn't make sure the lockbox was locked in. Police ain't policing these days.
Clearly a rat.
Yeah, I'm like, are y'all really doing the job? Man, I'm just here for the check. Like, oh, y'all some of the people, y'all can't just be showing up just for the check, because your life on the line as well. You feel what I'm saying? Like, motherfucker, they slipped out and ready to shoot you. Oh shit, like, you gotta have that shit locked up. Like, what the fuck is you doing? You seeing more people slipping out of cuffs and all this kind of shit. Like, police ain't policing.
We talked about this like a week or two ago of another incident.
It's crazy.
Yeah, this is
Weird. Policing, man. I'm like, yo, y'all it's all right.
But I was thinking about that one day, though, Phil.
What was you thinking about, bro?
When you was like being shot, white person. I was just thinking about that, like, yo, in some of them incidents where white people, when people always say they wasn't shot because they was white. What if they were good cops? That if they had.
Do we account for the good cops? Do we do enough account?
I don't know. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if these cops happen to have been the cops with George Floyd, would that have happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we saying all cops are bad now?
No.
But that's what we're really saying.
Well, I ain't saying no. I'm not saying all cops are bad. I never said all cops
Because
are
it
bad.
depends on what situation they in. Not because, like you said, like I'm not basically what you said, but what people allude to. If you arrested a white person who's shooting and got a gun, if you let them live, you're a bad cop.
Yeah. So yeah. Because we can't give you the benefit of the doubt that they're going the other way for our
So now that consists of mostly now the other end, the rest of the cops are the ones who kill black people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all cops. So are we saying all cops are bad?
When you put it like that, Iceman, fuck the police.
I was just thinking of that one day because that's what it could be instant. Now, what made me think of that is because when y'all say the cops in Texas, Uvalde, the school shooter, and all them niggas is cowards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Are they cowards?
Yeah.
Some of them are killers.
Okay.
Okay. Fair. 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 Some of them are killers.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It just made me think of everything in
Fire
the
nice
whole.
audience thoughts.
Or there's some You know what I'm saying? Just because a situation where a white guy happens to have a gun and doesn't die, maybe that white cop is a white cop that does go by protocol. That does go by the system or whatever, and not just because it's two white people he didn't kill him. Maybe. I don't know. But if no one believes that's possible, all cops are bad.
You know what? I used to be on to something tonight, man. You on a roll tonight, man.
All cops are bad. If you don't think that's possible, if you don't think it's good cops that let people live, you know what I'm saying? And white guys just kill, and white cops just kill black dudes and all that, it ain't no good cops in there.
You on to something tonight,
Audience,
man.
what's your thoughts?
Because you don't have to kill nobody to be a bad cop. Like I said, by you just not shooting a motherfucker who's out shooting at people, that would consider you not doing your job, being a bad cop.
South Africa in the building.
Interesting. Closing thoughts, bro.
That's fucked up. How there are certain people who we look at and supposed to be held to a certain standard and things, and they were like, well, they human. I'm like, I get that point. You know, they supposed to be doing better than us regular citizens. But you know what I'm saying? But the human aspect, like he was saying, is like good cop, bad cops. Like, man, well, come down to it, even scientifically, humans left alone to your own devices, you'll do the bad thing. You'll do the less than, not the more than. You'll do some I can say snake shit, but you'll do, man, fuck that. I won't throw it in the trash. Ain't nobody watching. So,
good question, man. Cops got to be good enough for the children, for all the rest of us. Be good enough for the children, man.
yeah.
Be good enough. Is that's be one with the children, man. That way, you know what I mean, you'll be comfortable with the environment. Fuck it.
It's crazy, man.
I can dig it.
That is crazy.
So listen, we're gonna dive a little bit more into the bizarre.
Yes.
That's what we do.
Let's go.
That's what we do. Okay, so I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this verbatim in my very Morgan Freeman-ish. My Morgan Freeman-ish. Police officers in the San Francisco Bay Area discovered the body of a woman in the living room of a home she shared with her daughter, who told police her mother died of natural causes more than a year ago, authorities said. Neighbors of the woman called police after seeing between 20 to 30 packages stacked on the home's porch and getting no response when they knocked on the door. The Petaluma Police Department said in a statement, given their observations, coupled with the information obtained by the reporting party, officers were concerned for the welfare of the resident and made the decision to make entry into the home, police said.
Who was ordering the packages?
Yeah, I mean, it's clear. I mean,
So why didn't you come get them?
let's see.
Let's see. Why was you ordering this shit and then you don't get this shit?
A year. The headline says, and let me repeat. Daughter lived with mother's dead body in a living room for over a year.
It's clearly some mental
Yeah.
trauma.
It's a living room, She didn't even put in your face. She
just hanging.
Hey, mom.
Hey, mom. Yeah, something like that.
Yo, well, wait a minute. Amazon, bring that shit out.
She didn't even bring them in the house.
Yeah.
And 20 packages piled up outside. You didn't even bother to bring them in the crib.
This shit, what? That shit, that was, there's a high level shit going on here. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, but I do want to speak to the point that, like, hold on. You in the house with your dead mother, and you trying to, I guess you trying to, no, I can't even tell you what you're trying to act like. You so far out, you ordering shit, but you so in tune, you like, I can't really grab the shit, because then people will be like, oh, somebody lives here, or somebody used to live here, and then they'll start looking over here. Instead, I'm gonna order all these boxes to the house, which I ain't have to buy.
You live there.
Yeah, I know she lived there, but she ain't have to order the fucking boxes. She could have just sat in the fucking house.
But what I'm saying is, if you order them, when they come, go get them.
Yeah, and that's a second of all.
Did you just let them pile up?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's weird in today's age, as far as like, yeah, that's kind of weird. Like a pile.
You live there still.
Yes.
Nobody lives. Nobody.
You need the shit you order.
You want that motherfucker fast as shit.
You need
Like,
that
you
bread.
ordered it.
You ordered
Yeah,
it.
you ordered it. You want that motherfucker.
curtains. You need that spatula.
That's it out there.
Yeah,
To pile up. And the neighbors had to call when they started seeing shit like, yo.
No, you want that graphic tee. You know what I'm saying? You want that graphic tee, bro. You want all that shit.
Yeah,
Yo,
it was some mental.
You know what, man? The good brother, Willie Jenkins, man, he said, but that's how concerned the packages though. He said, we haven't really touched on a whole motherfucking 12 months and plus. You've been living with a corpse.
Nah,
and you
because you know what? Because that's an internal issue. That's not an external issue. That's more of an internal issue that the motherfuckers in the house had to deal with. And nobody else had. Listen, as far as the public knows, everything's all good. Right?
Nah. That's what got them now.
That's what got them now. Right? Like
eight or nine packages stacked up.
yeah, that's what got them now.
Come on. Y'all ordering packages and ain't nobody.
It's Amazon. Niggas want their Amazon shit,
That's
right?
what I'm saying.
Niggas want their Amazon shit, right?
That's why you was way out there to be living with a corpse. But you had to be close enough to think, damn, I can't grab these packages off the porch because this ain't gonna know somebody lives here. But you so far crazy, I'm living with a corpse.
Niggas want their Amazon shit, nigga.
Just think about it.
I know, listen, when I order something from Amazon, I'm out the window like,
But just think about this train of thought. I'm living with a corpse, and I order some coffee, some Green Mountain coffee to the crib. Now I start to have morals and values. Oh shit, I can't grab that shit off the porch. They gonna know somebody live here.
They already know somebody lived there.
They didn't know nobody lived there.
Yes,
They didn't know nobody grabbed the shit off the porch.
They did know somebody lived there.
They knew somebody lived there? That's what I mean.
She lived there with her daughter. They knew the lady lived there. And then they started calling because all the packages started piling up.
Get the
Something
packages.
must be wrong.
Just go get
That's what
them.
I'm saying. You in the house ordering packages and then don't go get them. You drew the police. All you had to do was grab them. And you was still at the house living with the corpse.
I got a question. I just got a question. So, okay, some morbid shit. Okay, we know the overlaying headline was living with the corpse for a year.
Yeah.
The corpse starts to decompose. It's pretty quick, right?
Man, we already said it was mental shit going on.
So what are you doing in the house after like year one? Like after the smell and like the decomposition, because I don't want y'all niggas to say, yo, Tuesday night peas is retarded.
Man,
no, the decomposition.
She was up in the room.
I know the difference between losses, all that shit.
Man, she was up in the room, wherever she slept at, in her little room, closed the door, kept the door closed, and just was cashing them checks of Social Security checks, spending her credit card like she was still living. Like she was still living, man. We keep this door closed. Then when I go to the kitchen private somewhere in another part of the house, man, listen, I'm not touching the body, I'm not moving the joint.
You know what I just thought about? And this part of tonight's Fire Nights Experience is sponsored by Tequila. I just thought about.
Buckle up.
I just thought about. We talked about. I guess there's a daughter whose mother is in there. She's in court when she's in the house. But like you said, which didn't really ring in my head, they're like, oh shit, there's another whole human being in the motherfucking house. Now you're complicit.
You mean human being meaning like dead or alive?
No, there's another live human being. You said she lived there with her daughter.
Okay.
You know, so there's another whole human being living there with
probably killed her.
Wow.
That's the hot question.
Now
There we go.
So this is what I started. I said, oh, it was somebody else that lived in this motherfucking house as well. You know, for a whole year. So like, this may have been a murder or something. You know, somebody's trying to live off the. Cause didn't you say like?
You know it's foul play, man.
Yeah.
You know, listen, if you don't turn a dead body in, it's foul play. Simple as that.
Hey man, it's pretty simple. This ain't even rocket science. It's not hard at all.
Yo,
That's some checks and spend them credit cards.
Yeah.
Got a car.
You
she ain't leave, so.
You ever just let your people just sit out like that, man?
Yes.
It's fucked up, man.
I mean, yes, it sounds like yes.
That's fucked up, man.
It sounds like yes. Moving on.
That's
Okay. So listen, death penalty's been around for a long time, right? 27 states across America still have the death penalty, right?
Okay.
Just for identification purposes, they are big ass, like, fill drum roll. Yeah, all that shit. Alabama, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Florida, Virginia, Idaho, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, and Wyoming. The latest execution took place in Missouri just 2 days ago, where Ernest Lee Johnson was executed by lethal injection at 6:11 p.m. despite objections from many, including, get this shit, the Pope, citing his intellectual disabilities. For many critics of the United States policy on death penalty, one of the most troubling aspects is how it's inconsistently applied. While capital punishment is used in more than half of the country's states, in addition to the federal death penalty, the likelihood of an execution actually taking place and the potential for a prolonged, painful, or inhumane death, if it does, varies widely. For example, death by firing squad. I just gotta take a caveat there. Death by firing squad is a possibility in South Carolina. The fuck is you niggas on this?
Make this shit up, folks.
Firing squad, my nigga? Death by firing squad is a possibility in South Carolina, while in Texas it may be a lethal injection of, let me get this word correct, it's an extremely large word, and I do not want to fail my Fire Next audience. pentobarbital, which experts say can cause excruciating pain, such as in the case of the execution of Wesley Perky in 2020. Thoughts, my brothers. First thoughts is, are we in favor of the death penalty or no?
Yes, I'm in favor of the death penalty, but walk with me. I've been in favor of the death penalty this type of way for a long time. I always say it like this. If there's really no question about your case or if you really killed somebody, it's really no use of you really hanging around. You know what I'm saying? In some people's eyes. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm just playing, I'm just saying this could be a median rule. Like, okay, well, I'm not saying this to people where there was some type of question and evidence was funny like that. Nah, get all your appeals you can get. I want you to exhaust the system as long as you can exhaust it. But if it's an A, B, and C shut case, you hit a gun, you shot people, it's on tape, 5 people said they saw you, this and that. I really think, man, at a certain point, man, we really got to shut that down. Like, we just being able to exhaust the justice system. And they just say 20 years, 30 years, like, they killed 7 people, man. You know what I'm saying? Put them to bed. They admitted to killing 7 people. Kill them. Now, I'm not, like I said, those are particular cases. But I'm saying anybody where there's anything funny, nah, man, let them go to trial, let this whole thing play out, even if they found guilty, whatever, let it all play out. But if it was ABC shut case, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and wrap this up, man.
Let me add some context before you start. Let me add some context. Across the 27 states that still use capital punishment, lethal injection is by far the most common method. But many pharmaceutical companies refuse to supply the required drugs. Interesting. Which has led to states authorizing deaths that are potentially far less humane. Thoughts?
Man, I'm saying some niggas deserve that shit, so. It really don't matter to me because, the niggas who deserve it wouldn't even matter if they was in jail forever. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't even matter if they got killed or if you put them in jail forever, lock them away. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't matter either way either way to me. You know what I mean? But it's some niggas out there that you know what I mean? Like that nigga that went in that church and killed that motherfucker, killed them 9 people. Like, yeah, get rid of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that.
Hello, how are you?
Motherfucker, he just went to school and killed the 19 kid. Yeah, get rid of him. You know what I mean? But, I'm saying you can get rid of him, but I wouldn't be upset and in arms if he sat in jail forever. I wouldn't be like, oh, y'all should have killed me. Oh man, y'all bullshit. Y'all should have killed me. You know what I mean? Y'all should have.
Now, I don't say I get all up in arms like that, but those are the exact people I'm saying the death penalty should be available for. That's what I'm saying. Like the Uvalde shooter, you should be dead. Like, truth be told, in cases like that, you're locked up. Your trial should be sometime, I don't know, before the end of this year. This is how I would run the judicial system for him. You would be found guilty. By next Christmas, you're dead. Next Christmas, the Uvalde shooter is dead. Wiped off the map. See you by Sayonara Arrivederci. You're gone by next Christmas.
Yeah.
You don't get 20, 30 years.
Outlandish shit like that.
That's exactly the people. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Those people, and that's what I'm saying. I want their death penalty to come expeditiously, not get to hang out 10 years, 20 years, and then die. Nah, nigga, you got 18 months to get your affairs in order. Now, I mean, you got 18 months. You can cancel Christmas, all this. You know, because let's just take the Uvalde shooting. Or no. Let's just take Dylan Root. Right. Let's take Dylan Root, who shot at the church in South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. He's living right now. He's been through trial and all that. Why is he still living? There was no discrepancy about. There was no DNA evidence says something otherwise. No, he shot and killed 9 other people. Why shouldn't he be dead now? There's no question. Like, it wasn't no, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh no, it could have been another shooter, mystery bullet. No, you killed 9 other people. We know you did it because they got the Burger King receipts to prove it. So, what are we talking about? You should be dead. You are the exact person I'm talking about. The death penalty should be applied to.
Let me apply some context. South Carolina, which it may institute a law requiring death row inmates to choose between put to death by electrical chair or firing squad. They can only choose lethal injection if it is available at the time of election, and it currently is not. Electrocution takes place in 8 states, and gas chambers are authorized in 7.
Gas chambers.
Oh, these states, Delaware, New Hampshire, and Washington, still permit hanging.
Man, what in the Flintstones?
But I'm saying, like, what we talking about? If a nigga is sentenced to death, who gives a fuck how he get killed? True. You give a fuck how they kill you? Electric chair, hang you?
Run over by a bus?
I don't give a fuck.
Rock,
stone, that's a debate.
Stone to death in the
Is that a debate?
center.
That they still do inhumane things to kill a motherfucker who's supposed to get killed. So,
chop your head off, and, you know what I'm saying, in the theater. When it comes to that point, like Dylan Roof, I would be down for any of those things, any and all of those things happen.
That's
You
what
know,
you'll be okay.
I would show up to any and all of those.
You'd be okay with him being strapped to 4 horses and pulled in all 4 directions?
Yeah, him.
If you want them dead, or you going to say, nah, if they gonna say, yo, we great shooter in the car, nah, don't do that. I don't do that. Put them in the electric chair instead. It don't matter.
You're going out.
It don't matter. You're going out.
You're going out tonight.
You're going out.
Matter of fact, I hope something like this happens, and this happens sometimes. To somebody like a Dylan Roof. There's sometimes, like, when you don't have a fire squad, you're gonna die at a fire squad. But sometimes you get the bed shoot up, and you live, but you be fucked up. You know, so you be fucked up. We gotta bring you back next Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Or I see like the electric chair didn't all be tape on motherfucker. Like, oh, we gotta bring you back Thursday, bro.
That really might be a debate, but how to kill a motherfucker on who got the death penalty?
I don't really give a fuck how that. I don't really give a fuck how that.
So, fucking how he go, he just gotta go.
Yeah, it's your time.
Man, listen, if he gotta go, he gotta go. It don't matter how he go. It don't matter.
You know what? I think I'm on one tonight about that. Because actually, I'm not saying this would be a Blade Runner Wild Wild West, but I'd be like, yo, you know, if it was like some family members close to the victim, I'd be like, did you have a preference of how you would like to see this man in my eyes? Do you have a preference?
You know what I'm saying? I get it. You know what I mean, motherfucker? But that's their way to get the death penalty moved, period. Because once you get one thing knocked out, you know what I mean, certain states only do needles. So I'm like, oh, that's
inhumane.
That's inhumane. So them states knocked out. Then you say fire squad inhumane.
Right.
You get knocked a couple states out. Now, you know what I mean? Hanging inhumane. Not couple more states out, now you don't got a death penalty anymore.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But if you gonna kill a motherfucker, it don't
Kill him,
matter.
it
How
ain't
you gonna
matter.
kill him, get him out of here.
That's what I might be down
You
for you.
feed that nigga to death, all I care.
You, the Wu-Tang culture. I'm gonna keep feeding you and feeding them and feeding them.
And how he died, man. His stomach burst.
Yo, give a motherfucker a whole bunch of motherfucking water. Die and drown from the inside.
Like,
Like,
it's cool.
just keep drinking, nigga. Keep drinking.
Like, cool. Like,
Drown from the inside. That's gotta be terrible.
cool. Like, man, shit. That's weird to me. But I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. But I'm like I said, I'm cool if a motherfucker sit on there forever. It don't really matter to me none if you kill him or you don't. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah, you ain't gotta argue me down. But I would much rather see, you know, in certain cases, in specific cases, them motherfuckers be dead by next Christmas. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, you know, like something like a, you know, Boston bomber. Nah, nigga, you'd have been dead by now. You feel what I'm saying? All the people you fucked up, you'd have been dead by now. Ain't no reason, you know what I'm saying? You don't get to sit around. You don't get to sit around and you don't get to motherfucking eat and all that kind of shit where other people, you know, living their lives a different way. You don't get, I'm like, nah, you'd have been dead by now. To me, you know what I'm saying? Like you know, different people who done shit like that, I'm like, man, you'd have been dead by now. But it ain't up to me. They don't ask me about laws, rightfully so. God damn, under construction, huh?
Nah, we good.
Okay.
You good, because you know what I'm ready to do? It ain't that big a deal.
Destruction.
So listen, fuck it. We're gonna keep it moving. So you know what it's time for? You know what it's time for? Let's get into that shit, man. Let's get into that sports shit. That we do, man. Let's get into that sports shit, man.
Hold on, man. I do.
Classic shit. Y'all might not be able to follow me. Classic shit. So listen. Real shit.
Hold on, good brother. Before
Rock out, go ahead.
before we got to the sports, I wanted to touch on a certain verse that had been going around that people were saying that may have been the greatest in a certain particular person's catalog. I want to talk about. It just came across my desk. It just, you feel what I'm saying? I just got the memo. I said, oh, let me get it to me. DJ Khaled just dropped an album, not too long ago, and then everybody's, recent memory. But it's a song on there with Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, and what's
that guy.
He's got a lot of money.
Jigga Man.
Yeah.
That guy.
It's been a verse. He said some words that formed into a verse that a lot of people have been going around. That a lot of people, I can't say all the people, because there's definitely a significant amount on the other end that have said,
this is the greatest verse of his career. This is the greatest verse of the year.
You know what? That was something. Now, I heard it myself. Matter of fact, I heard it in the presence of my selected consigliaries, and I liked it. I really liked it. That's whole.
That's not what we're here for.
Huh?
That's not what we're here for. You heard it.
I heard.
The question is not whether you heard it. Does it qualify as the greatest verse of Okay, so 2 questions. Greatest verse of the year, greatest verse of Ho's career.
Well, I tend to think one of the greater whole verses was a little bit early in his career. But this verse right here, it could very well be one of them, because what people have to understand is the impact of what he's saying right now, what he's saying in the verses. It touched a lot of people to actually get to the point where people said, damn, is this his greatest verse of all time? I mean, mind you, he just had a song with Nas.
No, that's a while ago.
Well, I mean, in more recent history, because he's been,
there's been about 8 or 9 months between.
Right. Well, that's a long time in today's terms. But what I'm saying, 8 or 9 months ago, he actually had a verse. And people wasn't saying that was the greatest verse of his catalog, did they? There was another verse he had somewhere, I can't remember what it was, and it come to me. People was like, yeah, that was nice too. But they wasn't talking about, that was the greatest verse of his career. What was it about this particular verse that made people say, this might be his greatest verse of all time? What was it about this one? Because he had dropped a couple of Jews lately.
Let's play it.
No, that's not it. That's his greatest verse of all time.
Oh, we're gonna hold off on that. But I don't know. I think it might just be. Okay, so let me give you my thoughts on the song. Stellar song. I love the beat. I love Ross' verse. I'm a Ross fan. I love Weezy verse because I'm a fan of Weezy and what he brings. Hov, it was like an agenda there, it seemed like almost. That's just to me. It was like almost like an agenda. Because Hov spit like 80 bars on what seemed like them other niggas got like 10 to 16 bars. If that. I might be crazy. Now,
you're not crazy.
I'm not one of those guys that think that every time Hov spit is just the fucking greatest thing ever. No, I don't. I respect the fact that he's probably the greatest rapper of our generation, right? And this is coming from a guy who's not a pure Hov fan. But it was a very solid verse. Solid. It was nothing more than I expected from a guy that ain't dropped nothing in years, right?
Right.
Well,
no, it wasn't. It was only months because he just dropped. So.
But okay, so to put it in perspective, you haven't dropped anything in years, really. If we keep it 100, true. So a 16 shouldn't be hard for the greatest lyricist of all time, right?
That's fair. That's true.
Right?
That's true.
Like that would be like, it would be crazy because it's like, damn, you ain't even dropped nothing. Like you ain't got no wasted verses, no nothing. You just ought to drop some ridiculous shit, right? This is expected.
I'm not one of the people. To me, I might gotta hear it a couple more times. It's probably gonna make me go back tomorrow at work. While amongst other things, I'm probably gonna go through Jay's catalog just to see what is better than, his.
Okay, so let's put this out.
That's probably what it's gonna be.
Let's put this out there. This is definitely not the greatest verse in Jay-Z's career by far. No way, shape. It is the latest in a long line of great bars. And mind you, he spit damn near 80 to 90 bars on his song.
That might be an exaggeration. 80 to 90, man. That's
okay. Somebody, hey man, I could be wrong.
Give us the bar count on.
But then it seemed like that nigga went on for. If I'm Ross and I'm Wayne, I'm looking at Khaled like,
Wayne was like the hook on the song, And Ross was like the nigga that did the ad-libs on the song compared to what Hov did.
It was like it was a whole song with just some niggas on it. It was a whole song with just some niggas on it.
And no disrespect.
I said, I don't know, man. I said, you say, well, it's just a whole song with some niggas on it.
Hey, man. Talk about it. Let's talk about it.
And the song as a whole was dope.
Yes, yeah. You know, let the record reflect. The whole song was dope.
Nah, let the brother.
But it did seem like two other dope artists on the record, they could have got at least a little bit more time. And when you think about all the attention that Hov's verse is getting, it's like Wayne, you was like, oh, you must do the hook. And Ross was on it, oh, he must have doing the ad-libs. Because Hov, I understand anything about the numbers, but it's a dope song.
Noticeably short. Like,
Yes, so short. Like, yo,
listen,
you even have 16.
if I listen,
216.
And Hov blacked out.
And he had the rest. He gave like 48. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry, what? He gave you what?
He gave, it wasn't no 90 something.
Nigga, it's noticeably different. Noticeably. Like, okay, so let me give you some context. Bro just listened to the shit today. What was your thoughts in terms
So let me ask you this.
No, bro. Let's talk to the nigga. Let's talk to the nigga.
Because somebody in the limelight right there. That's what I'm getting.
Let's talk to the nigga that just heard
That's
the
what
song.
I'm getting.
Let's talk to the nigga that just heard the song today.
I'm getting your man just dropped a couple songs and then you got the limelight like this.
Let's talk to the nigga that just heard the song today.
That's what I'm getting. I'm getting a little second voice.
What I'm saying. Hold before you go. Before you go, Fresh, strike the nerve. Before you go, Fresh, talk about it more. Expand on it.
I said I'm hearing a lot of aggression towards the fact that the buzz is about Jay-Z. It's a lot of like, yo, you like, damn, you should get him. You making it more about, man, get another two niggas. Them other two niggas should have had more.
Really trying to say
That the animosity I'm getting towards is like,
I'm feeling a lot of heat.
yeah.
What are you really
We
trying
know
to
you.
say?
We know you a Nas fan.
Does this have anything to do with Nas? Because
Does
if you say that, I don't know.
Does it? Does it? Does it? Does it? That's what I'm trying. Does it? Does it? Does your critiquing have anything to do with Nas?
No. Why would it? Why would
Okay,
it?
so what I'm asking you is, on a song with Jay-Z, Rick Ross, and Wayne, you're complaining that they didn't have as many bars as Jay-Z? I would rather hear Jay-Z more than them. So why are you making that the big issue? That's the issue you're making.
You're wrong.
You said that's it. Since we've been here, what is he been saying, Fresh? Since we've been here, since you heard the song, what has he been saying, Fresh?
Go.
What has he been saying,
Answer
Fresh?
Answer
What has he been saying, Fresh?
No, answer his question.
No, about that song.
Answer his
About that song.
It's not the greatest. It's not the greatest.
That's not the greatest verse. Okay, I said it's not the greatest verse.
Okay.
But you've been like, yo, if I was Rick Ross or Lil Wayne, take me off the song.
Right, I said that. Right. So answer his question. What impression are you getting from me?
Well,
Because I don't know where he's going. I don't know where he's going. Tell me what you
the energy that you're putting out could be conveyed as, hold on, you're making too much of a pretty good whole verse, which Cole is probably going to do he can do in his sleep, a verse like that. Now, and I'm like, I don't know if I don't know. Nah. What I'm saying to you is, when you put it in those type of terms, and we know, it comes off like, oh, is he comparing that to something?
What would I be comparing it to? I don't understand.
We all, because we know you. You say, is that to Nas? Because they talking all this about a Jay-Z. Like you putting a little bit too much stank on a Jay-Z verse. Because they don't talk about Nas like this. This is like Nas, people can do this. Now,
you didn't hear me say Nas in any way.
That's fair. That's fair.
Hold on. My whole thing was, nigga, you spit damn near 90 bars.
Like, not to stank.
God damn. Hold on. Time out. Let the record reflect. When you first heard this shit, was it not a huge, you know what? Let me not even preface that. Let me put no context on it or anything. When you first heard the song, your thoughts. Let's not even do that.
I said, it's a hot-ass song. It's a hot song, period.
Okay.
Damn. The other two nice-ass niggas on the joint, I would feel some type of way if they didn't have more joint on it. But I ain't feeling like they should take it, be off the record, nothing like that. Now, I'm cool with just being a part of something great.
Okay.
Now, but later on down the line, it started feeling like just and some people out there in Fire Nice experience can say it started feeling like the good brother who may walk with you like that they walk. Phil, it might be some in there, some energy in there. You saying that's just a verse that anybody can do. Oh,
wow. Now you, bub. I didn't say that.
I know
I didn't say that. I didn't get out of it. But I just said it's not the greatest whole verse of all time. Stop it.
It's not.
Stop it. I didn't say anybody could deliver that verse. Is that what you get that I said?
No. What I said later on down the line, when you start alluding to, oh, well, that's not his greatest verse because he could do that. He could do that. He was due, matter of fact, he was due for one of those. Like a lot of people.
So I guess my question is, where the fuck do y'all get? I didn't mention Nas one time at all in any way, shape, or form.
That's fair.
What I said was, and the conversation was this. The conversation was, oh man, he got
Shout out to my baby Squeak.
On the check in. We got hope, man. I hope I can shout all of y'all out tonight.
Hold on. So
comments and all
the conversation had zero to do with Nas. The conversation was 100% about he has better verses on Reasonable Doubt and multiple other albums. What are you all talking about? This sounds like an agenda between you two light-skinned niggas.
We never said
This sounds like an agenda between you two light-skinned.
But we know
you know me. What the bro? I didn't say one thing about Nas at all. During the car ride, during the setup, during nothing. What are y'all talking about?
And that's fair. But
and to keep it 100, I acknowledge this shit was dope.
yes, and that's fair.
rolling at this table, I wasn't even talking about what I'm saying. The way is it a dope? You said it was dope. So the only reason you downplaying it is because Rick Ross and Lil Wayne didn't get enough time on there. Cause that's all you talking about.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
No, that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying. So is that the problem with it? Is that because they didn't rap enough?
or Jay's verses give you too much. Now I'm saying that picking up. That's what I'm saying. What you feeling? But since I know you, I'm like, if you compare that, you have to compare that to something. If you compare it to something, it's not. I'm like, But for you to say, to downplay, to say, man, I've heard this and that. You know what? You two niggas, this is clearly some bullshit. This is clearly some, and no way, shape, or form did I say anything about Nas at all. No, you didn't. You didn't say it then, but you clearly insinuating it now. That because you know me, that the fact that I'm saying it's not his greatest verse has something to do with the fact that I'm a Nas.
No, but I'm asking you. You still ain't to answer me. I've been asking you all what's. It seemed like the problem you have with the verse period. Every time first of all, every time we talk about the song. Now, this is my first time ever hearing you say his verse though. This is my first time ever hearing you say that right now. It is.
I'm online according to saying the verse.
I didn't see you online.
But that don't mean that doesn't mean I can say it. Just because it's your first time don't mean nothing.
But that's what I said.
Okay.
That doesn't mean something.
No, it really means it's your first time.
That's what I said.
You for me.
My first time. It means I said this is my first time hearing you say that the verse was dope. Since we've
wrong. Okay. You know what? It's your first time. Okay.
That's what I said.
Proceed.
That's what I said.
Okay. Go ahead.
But since we've been talking about it, and I don't know if Fresh wants to contest or contest. Ever since we've been talking about it here, you've been saying, dumb nigga shit, they got on the song, take me off the song. That's all you've been saying.
Because of the lack of.
What the fuck does that have to do with Nas though?
What I'm asking is.
No, you said your piece, but what the fuck does that have to do with Nas?
I didn't say anything about Nas. He said something about
the reason is because.
No, that's what you thinking the reason is.
No, you already said it.
No, I didn't. Come on, man. Like I said it from the beginning. He can tell you I said it from the beginning. Since we've been talking about the song, your problem has been, why are these guys so short? And what I've been saying is, who cares how? It seems like a problem. Like, yo, you like, fuck this verse, why these niggas ain't on the song? We fuck this verse, why these niggas ain't on the song?
We discussing the verse in the song.
So why?
First of all, I don't give a fuck what them niggas do. Cut that shit out.
Really
you saying it's a problem?
We all know.
We critiquing the song.
We all know in hindsight. I don't give a fuck what them niggas do.
Neither do I. Neither do I.
So why are we here talking about?
Let's move on.
So we might as well have a podcast then.
What are you
talking about?
You know what the fuck I'm talking about?
Why are you talking stupid?
No, you talking stupid.
Why would you say you don't give a fuck what they? Because we know we don't give a fuck, nigga. Because nigga, you take this somewhere else. You just took it somewhere else. You just said I didn't. You just said I don't give a fuck what they talking about. That's taking it somewhere else and we have a discussion about the niggas. That's taking it somewhere else.
We discussing the verses, bro.
And
you trying to make a point about me going somewhere and my bias about another artist, it ain't got shit to do with the song. That's your whole point.
What I can say about the Nas point is, which was inferred.
When?
No,
not he said. He's talking about him, not you.
I'm talking to him. Relax.
He's not talking about
when.
Like I said, this was inferred.
Nobody mentioned Nas. Who the fuck mentioned Nas?
He said inferred.
But my point is, if you're inferring
You know,
Why?
he's going to tell me.
Why?
He's getting ready to tell me.
Why?
He's getting ready to tell me.
Please explain. Because I'm trying to figure out
He's
what
getting ready to tell me.
Nas.
Thank you. Where I came up with the Nas point was when you was taking the umbrage against, I don't say the umbrage because you didn't say the verse wasn't dope. You said the verse was dope, but it seemed like you was going.
Say that again.
You said the verse was dope.
Because this motherfucker seems to believe that I don't believe the verse is dope.
I didn't say that. That ain't what I said.
Now, when
That ain't what I said.
now it seemed like to me, and maybe to Ice as well, that you threw a little bit more stank on it. Like, man, these guys should, like, what does that have to do with the verse? Now, when I inferred the Nas reference,
What was the Nas reference? I'm still trying to figure out where that came in.
I said, oh, when he said something about that was like with Eminem on EPMD, I said, yeah, he may be looking at it as that's like a Nas verse. Nas has a couple of those. That's what I said, and I was like, okay, you.
So this ain't shit that I said. This is just shit that y'all came up with, right?
This is what I've been saying. What we've been trying to say the whole time.
So y'all based the whole argument on some shit that y'all.
Because he says no, he said something valid about the EPMD.
No, I didn't even he said EPMD on the EPMD shit. Eminem on EPMD. He just
So then I
that's what I'm saying.
So when I inferred,
For reference purposes, I said a long ass verse on a song.
That's what.
And it has shit to do with Nas.
I didn't say
What the fuck is that?
who brought up the Nas Eminem part? That's what I'm saying. I was referring to the Nas Eminem part, like on the EPMD.
He brought up Eminem on EPMD. I didn't bring that up.
And
So that gave you the impression.
That's not me.
So that
It
gave you the
didn't give
impression.
me anything because
So that
I didn't say he said it, Phil. It didn't give me.
So that gave you the impression that so that it was a Nas versus Jay-Z thing?
No, I never said that's what I'm saying. Never said that it was Nas versus Jay-Z. I said, damn, I think he's like everybody is saying it's a great verse.
Because I referenced a nigga with a long ass verse on the song.
That part, yeah, and you brought up Nas and Eminem. So I said, well, hold on. I said,
all right, well, I'm hating on the Jay-Z verse according to these motherfuckers. I'm hating on the Jay-Z verse
what I said,
Jay-Z and Nas, because Jay-Z and Nas got a rivalry, and
what
Jay-Z
I
had a
said,
great verse.
that energy was a little different.
I never said that.
And that's what I'm saying. I was like,
Exactly, so make the correlation. I don't understand the correlation.
No, you keep addressing over here. You should be addressing it.
Nigga, I'm addressing both of y'all.
Like, you're not, and you keep talking to me, and I never said anything about
You the one
Nas.
screaming.
I never said
You the
anything.
motherfucker
She's
screaming.
trying to tell me I said something about Nas, and I never said nothing about Nas. It was him. I never said nothing about Nas. But that's what you kept saying. How did I compare it to Nas? I never said you did. I never said nothing about Nas.
and I wasn't saying you was comparing you to
I never
Nas.
said nothing
about the
about
verse.
Nas.
Right.
Like, I don't, like, what the fuck
I
is
asked-
y'all, like, y'all talking about Nas on the Jay-Z verse. I'm not even sure how we got it. Y'all mentioned, I said it was a long verse.
I asked why you put emphasis on the other two niggas. I don't know how I got, not how you figure I said something about Nas. Because I said, why you put so much emphasis
I don't know, because you
on the other two niggas. And then you still never answered that.
Okay,
You
so
came
what's your
up
question?
with-
What's
you
your question?
came up with-
What's your question? Let's answer your question. What's your question?
Why you put emphasis on the other two niggas rapping on?
Here's why. Because motherfucker, if I get 3 times as many bars as you get, yes,
I'm gonna feel some kind of fucking way because your bars are super longer than mine. That's why. Thoughts?
Now, the Nas reference was, he's like, oh, you said like the Eminem and Nas on EPMD. I said, well, hold on, then. You must think that the Eminem joint is lesser, I mean, the Jay-Z joint is lesser than, because you feel like,
What the fuck does that have to do with anything fresh? Does that, now, in context, what does that have to do with
that
anything?
might be part of the energy that it felt like might become like, you was giving a little bit too much stank. And I was like, did you feel that ice? And he was like, yeah, for one reason.
It wasn't because of the EPMD, nothing joint. The reason why.
But you had the conversation with that.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. No, I was just saying the energy.
I never said nothing about EPMD. Never.
The energy that was
Never.
from it.
Do you like the verse or not?
I love the verse. I love the verse.
Okay. You like the verse?
I love the verse.
All right, moving on.
Well, when we started talking about the verse, I was in your phone looking up something else. I didn't never say nothing about no EPMD.
What are you talking about?
You keep saying I brought up Nas and I didn't. I never brought Nas, never came out my mouth.
The tape will reflect what. Because
That's
I didn't. First of all, y'all inferred that Nas had something to do with my influence on my perspective on this verse.
Now that part I was like,
I don't understand why. I don't understand why.
because like he said, he didn't bring him up. I know I didn't bring him up. You were brought him up. I was like, okay, well, so
hold on. The conversation was regarding. The conversation was regarding the verse, and I said, yeah, the nigga absolutely should have went the fuck off. He done had 80 bars on the song. I didn't say, and that was nothing more than I said on public forums. Y'all gave the fucking narrative of, that fucking sentiment must be because Nas. What the fuck did that have to do with Nas?
not just because of Nas, but when you brought up the reference of, that was like when Eminem was.
Nah, y'all thought it was funny, and y'all decided to throw that shit in. And
You brought it up. You brought it up.
I brought the shit up behind the scenes.
I didn't bring it up on here. What are you talking about? Brought it up? Are you serious? Who brought it up? I did.
Yes.
Nobody. He just brought it up 2 minutes ago.
Okay. So that's how we got here?
I didn't bring up when you out of your mind if you thought.
Is that how we got here?
Better.
Is that how we got here?
Better.
Is that how we got here?
Better.
We got
Better.
Screaming don't make it no better.
Bet on it.
We got bet on it.
Bet on it. I didn't bring no Nas, EPMD, nothing up. Bet on it. Bet on it.
You didn't hold on.
Bet on it.
Hold on. So you didn't make inference that my opinion was biased based off of that conversation we had off screen?
After I kept asking you what I really asked.
That's what I said. That's what I'm talking about. That's what
We
I'm
had
talking
already
about.
said Nas there. And I said, We both said him at the same time. You ain't even paid attention. We both said, When he said Nas.
But what the fuck? Hold on.
No, you keep cutting out because you mixing shit up. You keep
mixing shit up
because you say niggas talking about EPMD on the show. He just brought that up. Like you said, you talking that behind scenes.
Right.
He just brought it up. Nobody else.
Right.
We didn't talk about it.
How did we get here though?
We didn't talk about it the whole show. You said I brought it
But
up.
how did we get here though? How
Because,
did me and you start? How did me and you start?
because he said.
How did me and you start? Not him. Why did me
Because
and you
I
start?
asked you a question. He said something about Nas.
You don't remember. You don't remember. Let me go into it. Okay, why did you say
Why did I say
Let's just rewind the tape when we get a moment. Let's see what
Because
I
he
said.
said, because I know you. I know you feel.
You know me, so you did what? So you did
I said,
what? You knew some shit out.
I said,
Okay, exactly.
The whole
It
field.
didn't have nothing to do with nothing.
The whole
It didn't have anything to do with anything.
That's what I'm saying. You going to
when I was asking you about other shit about the song.
Hold on.
Oh my God. Now it's
Hold
wrong.
on. So wait.
You just now told me
I
why.
didn't say shit about Nas or nothing on the EPMD song. Nothing.
I didn't even have that conversation. I heard when you brought it up.
But you most certainly knew about the conversation.
Because y'all brought it up and I went about my business because we was behind the scenes. I wouldn't did what the fuck I had to do.
Hold on, man.
I wouldn't did what I had to do. I didn't stick around for that conversation.
The
When we was
EPMD
setting up.
song was brought up on the show. That's why I
By who? By
who
who?
brought the EPMD song?
By who?
I know it wasn't by me, but that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so
now we way off time. So wait, y'all just agreed that you brought it up on the show, and now you didn't bring it up. Oh, I said that when I thought Iceman brought it. He said, nah, I said, I brought up the EPMD, EPMD.
No, he brought that shit up before the show.
And like I said, I referenced that. I said, oh man, I just brought up, that was actually brought up on the show as well. Well, let's let these them two talk, because obviously,
And that's what I'm
my
saying.
opinion is very biased.
Whenever y'all talk about whenever y'all talk about EPMD before the show, I don't even know what y'all said.
You brought up the Nas Eminem EPMD song.
It's not on the show.
On the show too.
Oh, well, I don't know. I said nobody brought it up on the show.
I did. That's what I said. I don't know if did.
I didn't bring it up. The first time we heard this, you just said it on the show. But now, other than that, Phil said it off the show. Ain't nobody saying nothing about Eminem.
It's there, man. Like,
I'm listening.
So on the sports,
we'll see.
So listen, man, on the sports, man. On the motherfucking sports, man. Hey yo, if y'all know us, I've been on these motherfuckers almost 40 years. You know, so this is something that happens pretty much every time that we've been together in our lives. So listen, the good Dr. J says Kobe's number shouldn't be retired, man, league-wide like Bill Russell. Oh, Bill Russell's number 6 is retired league-wide. Anybody who currently wearing the number 6 is okay to wear the jersey. But anyone so on and so forth, the number 6 is retired. Do we feel like Kobe's number should be retired the same? Thoughts? No. You do not feel Kobe's number should be retired?
By the Lakers, retire Kobe's number with the Lakers. League-wide, I think that should be held to very, very, very high standards. When you think about baseball, the one number that's retired,
8 or 24. I'm thinking the most latest number, which would be 24, right?
Right.
The most recent number.
I'm just saying, him being a Laker, all his numbers, whatever numbers he had, they should be retired. But league-wide,
8 and 24?
Yeah. No. 8 and 24 should be retired for the Lakers.
Lakers, okay.
Lakers.
So you say Lakers.
But league-wide, I say no, because what the good brother, Mr. Bill Russell, did for black people, I'm not sure that equates to what Kobe Bryant did for black people. You know, from what I hear, Bill Russell was the first sports black advocate. There's an iconic picture I like to put up as my cover picture on Facebook, where there is Muhammad Ali, one of my favorite motherfucker idols, who I never got to see play, but I only fuck with him on social issues, Jim Brown, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who I think is the greatest basketball player, but he got to argue me down about Michael Jordan, and Bill Russell, sitting at the motherfucking table, talking to Muhammad Ali about, sit this one out, bro, and we got your motherfucking back. And Bill Russell was the catalyst behind all of that. I totally fuck with all of those people in the picture. Shout out to Lou Brock. Shout out to Ernie Davis. Shout out to Lou, I would say Campanella. You know what I'm saying? All the other people that was pivotal in that fucking picture. Those people, from the sports aspect into our lives, they've done a whole lot much for us. So you should retire
Yes,
without these trumps.
So yes or no?
No, not Kobe League wide. No.
Thoughts? League-wide, Kobe, 1 jersey number, 2, none. Yes, both.
Nah, not league wide. I don't think nobody should get league wide except for probably like the Bill Russells. You know what I mean? Nobody. Not even Jordan should have got it.
No.
League wide.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Moving on.
Just for your team, if your team.
So it should be down to the team level.
Yeah, it should be.
What constitutes league-wide jersey retired?
Bill Russell.
Point blank period. You have to put in work like Bill Russell. Now, let the record reflect, bro. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, we might have to retire at 33 because the things that he did, regardless of the work, the man.
I'm just saying we gotta be careful because we start retiring to the numbers like.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm only talking about a very. I have many more fingers of people. No. I have enough fingers to count the people that need to be retired league-wide. You know, it takes not just playing basketball, but when you do something outside of basketball that really changes lives, retire that nigga number league-wide. Now, as far as what you did in basketball for a certain team or for basketball, just basketball, retire his jersey, you know, or in Kobe's, or even in Jordan, because the 45 and 23 is retired. But I wouldn't say retire league-wide because you have not done what
you gotta do something.
You gotta do something
because of
the human aspect. Now, what I will say when I think about it just right here and right now, on top of my head right now, Michael Jordan may be in that category of retired at 23, man. Mm-hmm. Now,
let me pause you right there. Does posthumously affect the process, or
no?
Should you honor a motherfucker while they're here?
I think Bill Russell should have been honored with this honor before he died. No, he should not have been wearing it. Dr. J should have probably been the last person, or LeBron James should have probably been the last person awarded the number 6. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, well, you know, something like that. Other than that, Bill Russell, and I can't speak for many other or if any other that should have had their number retired league-wide. The number 6, go ahead and put that down. Put that right. Go ahead. And it's been by some all-time greats as well. Like I said, Julius Erving was my all-time favorite player, and LeBron James when he played Miami. So that should have been a.
Yeah, I wouldn't retire everybody. I don't think Jordan. Not no league-wide shit. Like you said, man, you gotta do some shit, man. Like because of that jersey. You know what I'm saying? Not just basketball, be a great player and do all that, man. You got that jersey got me to do a lot of shit, man.
You ain't never lied, man. But the thing I say is, if you get New Jersey retired league-wide, who I know as having their jersey retired league-wide is Jackie Robinson. You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, the great humanitarian, the great activist, the great icon, the great trailblazer he was. You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, you just can't be retired Kobe Bryant. When it comes to those things, I can say, nah, he ain't did what Bill Russell did. Matter of fact, he ain't even did what Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has did. You feel what I'm saying? When it comes to those aspects that have their number league-wide. Matter of fact, you haven't even done what Michael Jordan has did to get his number or numbers retired league-wide. So that's why I'm saying Jordan would be up there as people go ahead and retire.
Would you just retire?
Smoking session is wide open tonight, baby. You need to know. Wide open.
Would you just retire a nigga's jersey for play?
No, not league wide. That's what I'm saying, not league wide. I'm like, nah, it's a high ball set.
So
So
when
I'm
you
saying
high ball
so
set.
so by you saying Jordan, wouldn't he fit in that? Just
If
for
there
play?
was a nigga whose play warranted retirement, it would be Mike, in my opinion. But league-wide retirement, to me, I don't know if anybody fits that criteria. Because to me, you have to be as impactful off the court as you were on the court.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And with that being said, it's no way in hell Mike was impactful off the court as he was on the court.
Now hold on.
And I don't like to me it comes to me it's no I'm talking about from an activist.
I'm saying when he really say don't count.
It's my thing is the guys that I think in terms of equal impact on and off the court from an activism standpoint, you gotta talk about guys to me like a Jim Brown, like that kind of impact. Like Mike wasn't as impactful as he was on. He did things off the court. Kareem did things off the court, but like them guys, like they weren't like Muhammad Ali.
Now.
That's just like
Now,
Muhammad
let me ask
Ali
you
was
this, though.
willing to. Let me finish my
Go
story.
ahead.
Muhammad Ali was willing to let his career go for his stance from an activism standpoint. You know what I mean? It's not a lot of guys in that class. That class is very, very exclusive. You know what I mean? Go.
With that being said, just piggybacking off that, and we were just, you know what I mean, picking the guys who are deserving of that. I think the next person to get their number retired from the NBA is LeBron. He can check all the boxes.
Now, that's another person. But what I'm saying is he's already worn a retired number. And the other number that I'm saying retired, I'm like, yeah, him and the other guy that you know is 23. I'm like, I wouldn't be mad if you checked off 23 for both of those guys. Period. Or just for either one of those guys individually. You feel what I'm saying? Either individually, like, nah, but there's a very small box which only probably those three guys or four, which I may put Kareem in, are in. And I'm talking about, I have way more fingers than I have people that I can put into, that I would even consider. And we talk about consider now, not put in, but consider. The first people we should really consider. The first people I would consider Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, LeBron James. Other than that, I'm like, nah, I'm not even really considering anybody else. Other people, you know, other than that, the other three people I said I'll consider. We gotta sit down and talk about. Hey, you know what? Now the iconic 23 has been worn by two all-time fucking greats. I wouldn't be adverse to you. You know what? Let's put this down. Let's put this down. You can't play 23 better than these two motherfuckers. Now, that might be fair saying that right here, right now. Let the record, let's put up tape. Let's put up, come fly with me, and I believe Lane.
I mean, to me, it's got to be some, like, you got to be equally as impactful in both. So, I mean,
Now,
I don't know. I just.
Now, let me say this about one of the 23s, he may have more impact than Bill Russell. Michael Jordan's sneakers and his brand.
But that's not.
Hold on. Hold on. As socially.
We go with the negative with that too.
No. What I'm saying is, as socially as impactful as Bill Russell was. Retired at number 6, like I said, they should have been retired. Like I said, the reason why I would consider of Michael Jordan is because his brand is so impactful. Oh, that has to be thrown in. Now, I ain't saying it's at the top of the list, but I ain't saying it's at the bottom either. Everybody's running around here like, if you ain't got on ones, you ain't shit.
Can I intervene?
Now, hold on.
Go ahead.
I said I just want to cap it off with that is a crazy impact. Now, I'm not saying it's a social impact in the same aspect as a Bill Russell or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But you cannot tell me that it's not a social impact as an impact. There's an impact as one of the greatest social impacts ever for Michael Jordan.
So let me ask you this. Well, do you got anything to add to that? So let me add this. I guess my question is, impact, yes, social, but it's from a business aspect.
True, that's fair. That's fair.
My thing is, as it helped the black man, I'm asking, what has it done in terms of helping his sneaker sales hasn't necessarily
True.
What I'm saying is a difference maker. You selling sneakers is not a difference maker. You just moving. You moving the needle from a cultural standpoint.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? And I don't want to dismiss that and say that don't mean nothing. But what
I am saying is, I guess next to Yeezy, or maybe even above Yeezy, or like I said, next to Yeezy, whose brand of sneakers is the top sneaker out there?
But you talking socially.
No, you said we talking socially. Just like
I specifically said,
you said we're talking socially, but not in the same aspect as a Bill Russell. Now, what I'm saying is
activism. With the selling sneakers,
right
now.
And what I also said is Michael Jordan would be someone at the top of the list that I would
with the selling sneakers,
because
had to do with activism, though.
As you know, I'm not as impacted or swayed with the Jordan.
That's an economical impact. That's not.
Yes, it is.
That's not.
But tell me a greater economic impact. It still is what it is. So
it's impact. But we specifically said in the beginning of the conversation.
I'm not saying it is as great as what Bill Russell did socially with his activism.
No, it's the social impact. No, but that we said impact from a standpoint of moving the needle from an activism standpoint. You selling sneakers has nothing to do with
I ain't saying that. I'm not saying it has nothing to do with why you should have your number retired. I'm not saying it should have nothing to do with it. Only because Michael Jordan himself, his brand, and like I said, it does not equal the activism that Bill Russell did. But there is no other impact that comes close to Michael Jordan's impact brand-wise. So what I'm saying is, no, it's not as important as Bill Russell's activism, no. But it trumps every other athlete's brand, and that has to be taken in as well. So that's what I'm saying. With that alone, socially, even if it is, I know it does. Like I was saying, even though it's not as big as Russell.
Even how major it is, it still take a back.
One of that is giving back.
But it's none of that is giving back. None of that is.
I think that's the point, though.
But I'm saying none of that is giving back. I'm saying none of that is giving back. He said, nah, Republicans buy sneakers too. He said that. What I'm saying is,
we know how impactful it is, but he said his activism. We know his
activism
social
is an all-time low.
His economic.
So you said what?
His activism.
No, it's not. It's actually not. It's not.
Right, but
that's a misconception.
It's more than what people think because he don't put it out there.
Right,
but what I'm saying is, why not? As a person who's not,
we're not talking about an icon. We're not talking about iconic status.
We are talking about icons. Now, like I said, to have number retired league-wide, it requires a little bit more, significantly more, and with a probably more of an activism take to your social activism.
So once again, I ask the question, what does selling sneakers have to do with activism?
It's not selling sneakers. What I'm saying is, his brand is the strongest brand from sports right
What
now.
does that have to do with
Listen,
activism?
let me finish. He has the strongest sports brand, which compares to luxury brands all around the world. But like I said, that is not that does not compare to activism. But compared to other people that we consider, we will put in the conversation of people getting their number retired, that would be a feather in his cap that other people do not have. On top of all your great accomplishments through basketball. Like, just on basketball, you can be considered to have your number retired league-wide. But socially, everybody fucks with your, everybody fucks with your sneakers above anybody. And it's like, damn, bro, and it's just from dunking basketballs and that type of thing. Because everybody else who has a brand like that comes from the sneaker or fashion world. So that's what I'm saying. That can't just be overlooked. But I'm not putting it on the level of the activism. But what I'm saying, when you consider people whose number you're going to retire why, that has to be thrown in. Because that is a real thing. When people stand in the line waiting for ones, that's a real fucking thing. That's a real thing when people paying thousands of dollars for the brand. That's a real fucking thing. Like I said, it does not compare to what Bill Russell did, but to every fucking body else. Besides the LeBron James, I'm in there. I'm in there.
I get what you're saying.
What's he saying?
He just saying how, like, he just using the way that Jordan's moved the culture.
I didn't make it like this. I didn't make it like this.
He basically saying he's not putting it up there with the activism and all that, but he just saying if a motherfucker like Bill Russell deserves his number to get retired because of the activism he did. LeBron James deserved his number to get retired if he had his own number because of the shit he do. Jordan, he don't do that shit, but his the basketball shit he did, and the shit, the way he moved the needle with the brand, his brand, you would have to, you know what I'm saying? Because
you can't take that out.
Yeah, you can't.
That's real. That's a real thing. And that's what I'm saying. I thought I was a sneakerhead. I thought I was. No, we all. Well, I know you are. I know you are straight like that. But we all thought we were sneakerheads. And I was like, no, I'm not a sneakerhead. They're like, man, you ain't got ones on, you ain't shit. You ain't got J's on, you ain't shit. We ain't talking about Jordan brand, even though it's a reputable brand. But we talk about Jordans.
Is it?
Jordan. That's fair. That's fair. But what I'm saying is, the way he moves the needle.
Might be just Nike.
The way he moves the needle.
You might be giving too much props, Will. It might be Nike, huh? It might not be the brand.
It's the he wore.
It might not be the brand.
You know what the secret he wore? He actually played.
It might not be the brand.
I'm just saying. So
you get that money, feel nice.
So you can kind of like, I can say it's true, but you see where it comes from with like the Jordan, the Air Jordan brand.
No, it's not the brand.
What the Jordans you got? Whatever they call that. Whatever they call his Jordans. You know, I don't know, but I'm not gonna speak for him. But his Jordans, not his brand or whatever.
Until 2000 and
right. But what I'm saying is,
at the earliest,
his Jordans, they some of the high, that's some of the high.
So let
me see my.
But the Jordan brand, they started like 06.
Let me see my.
Melo was the first thing.
I guess my thing is that I don't consider you selling sneakers or anything like that. That's economics. iconic status. That's being a household name. You're selling sneakers off of your persona, not anything you're doing off. That is strictly what you're doing on the court. If these kids, you know, if the kids never saw anything else, they see what you're doing on the court. Those types of awards, in my opinion, are deserved for individuals that move the needle off the court. And when I say move the needle, I mean make a significant impact from the standpoint of causing change. And Mike, I'm pretty sure, you know, I don't want to be the one that subscribes to that. Oh man, Mike was he was dealing in sweatshops and all that shit.
Every game.
And
I think it's for that.
The biggest thing was the whole Mike was investing in prisons and all that shit. Mike moved the needle from an economic standpoint.
Yes.
And nobody's ever done that since then except for maybe Kanye West. From an economic standpoint as far as moving sneakers.
And let the record reflect, he's not an athlete.
But we're once again, we're talking about the origin of the conversation was guys getting their jersey required, league-wide, and what that requires. My criteria was more than a basketball player for it to be league-wide. And of course, you know, the posthumous aspect of it kind of, you know, expedites the process.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, to get your number retired league-wide is meaning generations can't wear that number. So if we're talking generations, I think that it should be something that you're doing from a generational standpoint. What are you doing from a generational standpoint, moving the needle?
Well,
that's just, now mind you, you know what, let me, I'm gonna say this.
And
it just hit me.
I was just ready. Hello.
Hold on, bro, it just hit me. Okay, because like I said, my criteria may be my criteria alone. Another motherfucker may feel like, okay, well, him selling $1 billion+ in sneakers may entitle him to that criteria. But for me, to have your number retired league-wide means that you're an activist moving the needle and it's selfishly, I guess, maybe that's, you know what? It could be very selfishly saying my community. Because little Johnny in Idaho may not necessarily experience the same thing that Raheem in Chicago may experience, but the impact is still there because Johnny is buying a pair of fucking ones and all he knows is the experience.
Hello, how are you?
So all he knows is the experience. The one thing that him and Raheem in Chicago can identify with is the experience of buying those sneakers, and boom, we both have a pair of Jordans.
But even bigger than that, I've never seen you play.
Right. I've never seen you play. So the
criteria,
so the criteria could very well be different, and I'll leave that there. Question 3. The greatest NBA defender of all time. Greatest NBA defender? The greatest NBA defender of all time. The greatest NBA defender of all time. I'm gonna throw some names out there. You know what I mean? These are first of all, okay. So first of all, these are some of the greatest defenders that I feel in the history of the NBA. Just from what I've seen. And mind you, I'm 47 years old. I've seen the NBA for a long time. These are the greatest defenders in my eyes. Alvin Robertson, Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, Gary Payton, Tim Duncan, Hakeem Olajuwon, Kawhi Leonard, Avery Bradley, And
Shout out to Bobby Jones, Sixers. You know it, Jack. Hell of a defender. Low cheeks.
yeah, those are some of the greatest defenders that I've ever seen. And that's not to knock any of the great centers of the 90s, because I think that whole era, defensive wise, you have some of the greatest shot blockers and defenders of all time. You get Ben Wallace's, your Ron Artest, but those are some of the greatest defenders that I've seen. But out of all of them, and there may be guys that I may have not mentioned, who's the greatest defender?
I got two. And I really can't see who's one over the other, but I got two. One of them is your all-time favorite guy, Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon. When I seen with my own eyes, I was like, that's the greatest defender.
I'm sorry, I forgot. I'm gonna interrupt. Kevin Garnett. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Hello. But I one of the few people that has put up a quadruple double. I'm like, that's weird. But from a lot of people like to say, well, can he guard the rim? He's a center. Oh, one of the best to guard the rim. But also like to think that he was one of the people that was athletic enough. He may not stop you, but he might slow you down for a second or two, even if he was a perimeter player. I actually like to think that he may be one of the few people that was born that could probably beat Eric Jordan one-on-one. That's another story for another day. But Hakeem Olajuwon is one, but number two is Bill Russell. I didn't see him with my own eyes, but I heard some crazy shit about Mr. Bill Russell in his defense.
Greatest NBA defender of all time.
You gotta think about that. You gotta think about that, y'all. You gotta think about defense. It means something when you get when they can do it. It means something. Who you got? And actually, I want to give an honorable mention shout out to David Robinson. One of the great athletic defenders that could actually guard a lot of motherfucking people. When it wasn't even cool to be guarding wing players, he could do that.
See, the obvious probably the center or something. I'm searching for a perimeter player, because I think that's that's more defense, or defensive line. You know what I mean? In the center.
Right, you on the clock, baby. You on the clock.
I had to go. I don't know. I might have to go with Aaron, man.
Why? Why would you go with Aaron?
Aaron was a defender. Aaron locked niggas up. Aaron played defense.
I'm gonna ask you context to that.
Okay.
Because for all the accolades Aaron gets offensively, people fail to realize that Aaron ranks number one in block shots among guards. Mother Eric Jordan ranks among the top 5 in steals. Now, in comparison to be in, think about this. What you just said was you have a guy that is you considering the greatest defender of all time, who could very well in the same conversation be considered the greatest offensive player of all time.
Yeah, that's Michael Jordan.
That's impressive.
Very fucking very. Your resume is in the hall of halls.
Is there anybody in today's game that you would consider the greatest defensive player of all time?
No.
Today's game.
No.
Greatest defensive player of all time.
Because there was a debate online, and I'll tell you what the debate entailed. The debate entailed who was the greater defender, Drew Holiday or Gary Payton?
I'm gonna put it to you like this.
Oh,
I
know. I'm taking all day long.
Yeah, I'm taking Gary Payton.
All day long.
And let me provide some context.
I'm
Go ahead.
I'm telling you like this though. Kawhi was on a path to be the greatest defensive player ever. If he wouldn't have got hurt, he would have been continuously first team All NBA constantly for like the past however many years he's been in the league now. You know what I'm saying? And when he comes back, they're going to supplant him back right where he left. You know what I'm saying? He could have possibly have been with the accolades and the, you know what I mean, the how many years and all that with the Defensive Player of the Year awards and all that.
Yes, he got a couple
He
of
could
those.
have possibly have been the greatest defensive player ever.
So the thought process was this, and it leads me to my next discussion. The thought process in the scuttlebutt was this. Jrue Holiday has to defend more skilled, more talented players right now. So that would automatically make him the better defender. And let's provide some context. So there was a younger generation that feels Jrue Holiday, because of the wide open play and the isolation basketball right now, the fact that he's facing more talented and more skilled basketball players, he's the better defender.
I know you're right. He's a great defender, but he's not a better defender than Gary Payton. Now, mind you, Gary Payton was the Defensive Player of the Year. One of the first guards and one of the last guards who was out there locking up motherfuckers and who garnered the first guard.
He was the first guard.
Right. So for you to go out there and be doing what you're doing, and mind you, I had been fucking with Gary Payton ever since Oregon State because he did it on both ends of the court. I'll lock you up and score a bunch of fucking points. But since he's out there doing what he's doing, it don't even matter what era or whatever it is. I saw the man go out there, D up motherfuckers, better than, not saying Jrue Holiday wasn't great in his own right, but individually, I see him go out there and shut people down. I'm not sure if I've seen, and don't get it twisted, I've seen Gary Payton shut down people who was of note, worthy. I'm not sure if I've seen Jrue Holiday shut down people of note, worthy. Bottom line, slow them down, yeah. You know how I feel about today's individual defense. They can scheme you out of a great defensive play.
The reason is because what you said. That he's not better than Gary Payton because of the reason what you said. The reason why they think he's better. In today's game, he's not even being nobody. Because if you're a so-called defender on your team, they send in a pick. They send in a pick now. So now you ain't even being the nigga who you're supposed to be being, who to show your defensive skills on. They didn't have that back in the day. Gary Payton had to dig down and beat niggas. Only team was pick and rolling was Utah. You know what I'm saying? And in today's game, you ain't gotta lock nobody down. If you the defender on your team, motherfuckers is coming and picking you.
To get you off.
Yeah, to get you off the nigga. So who are you really locking down?
Have I been saying defense, specifically individual defense, is overrated for a while now? Just for what he just said.
Back in the day, wasn't nobody picking rolling but Utah. Everybody else, Gary Payton had to lock the point guard down, stop him from going here, stop him from setting the play up. I'm locking you down, nigga. Ain't nobody coming to pick, you know what I'm saying? Because, it was throwing into the post. I'm going to stop you from throwing it into the post. You know what I mean? I'm going to tap all that. I'm going to dive back into the center lap. You know what I mean? Get all that. I'm playing D, real D. Nowadays, niggas, and if you know there's a defender on your team,
Pitt.
You want to get picked all
Pitt.
night. You ain't gonna be able to stick.
Give me Big Mac.
Hey, doc, give me him.
Give me him.
Yeah, you get the chance to showcase.
Yeah, you ain't gonna be able to showcase your defense.
It don't matter. Like, oh, you that great? We'll skin you to the corner, nigga. We'll skin you to the corner. And that's why, that's the whole, I'm glad he said that. Because that's the whole basis of what I be saying is, not necessarily defense, but individual defense is so overrated. Oh, he can lock him up, he can lock. Can't nobody lock nobody up. All they call is pick. Now you got the worst, you went from the best defender to the worst defender on. Okay.
They just switch them and reverse the basketball.
That's what goes on. Matter of fact, can I bring up a point? There was a time when they said Benjamin Simmons had shut down Trae Young. Oh, he should be blamed. He shut him down. I said, shut him down from what? Oh, he went 5 or whatever. I said, but he had like, I don't know how many assists. But he scored, said, but he shut him down. He's too great. He just kept going off pitch and kept going off. He was throwing t-shirts to John Collins and Clinton Capella. What are you shutting down, Ben Simmons? You've been schemed off of, picked off of the guy who makes the shit go. It doesn't matter how great you are, I can steal the ball. Cool, no problem. Pick. Now I got Vince Bianco on me. That's how it goes these days. I'm like, what the fuck is you talking about? You can't shut nobody down. They're not letting you shut nobody down these days.
But I understand what he's saying. I understand what he's saying, the bigger, quicker players and all that shit.
Well, because
but if you ain't really buckling down, shuffling your feet, you ain't defending nobody.
Right.
I can't call you a true defender.
Right.
So this next one gonna hurt a lot.
Okay.
This next one is gonna hurt a lot of feelings.
So we put that portion of the night.
So yeah, this is the fuck your favorite player. All that kind of shit. This is gonna hurt a lot of feelings. Go get yourself a drink. You know what I mean? All that kind of shit. You're the most overrated motherfucker you've ever seen, man, in basketball.
Oh, the most overrated motherfucker I've ever seen in basketball.
Who the most overrated player out there?
He may be playing right now. The most overrated player I've seen. Useless. He may be playing right now. Residing in Los Angeles.
Oh shit.
Which one?
Which one?
Now,
When history's gonna be kind to both of them, because I know which two you talking about. History's gonna be kind to both of them.
He better than 200 of them niggas in there.
I hope. Who you talking?
Now, you know what? Oh, I'm gonna scratch all that though. Because I got a person who I think is overrated. They box office.
Or overrated. That's what we here for.
Kyrie Irving.
Let's go.
I think he's a little bit overrated. No, I think he's overrated.
Let's go.
As box office as Kyrie Irving is, one of my favorite players to fucking watch on the court. Okay. Can I ask y'all something? Without, no, I said one of my favorite players. No. He's one of them. Just because. No, he's one of them.
It is what it
But I'm
is.
saying, now his skill is, I like to see that. I'm like, your skill is above a lot of motherfuckers. But that's part of what I'm getting to. I'm like, your skill doesn't really translate to a lot of success. And I'm like, a lot of people like to say a skilled player as he is supposed to garner a lot of success. But without other all-time players on your team, selected all-time players on your team, you had very few, if any, success. With the skills, like I said, you're one of my favorite players. I love you. I love all that shit. I love when you out there. But when you out there, is your team really winning? And are you a catalyst for making them win? You box office, you doing shit out there, and I love to watch. I'm sign me up. But without LeBron James, and with a person who I think is a lesson in player in other people's minds. But Kevin Durant, you've had very little success for a person of your skill set. You may have the greatest skill set of any guard around. I mean, in all time, some people will say, well, what you got? And I love you. That's what I'm saying. I love you so much. I know you should have, not believe or think. I know you should have more than what you got. What the fuck you got? You got a couple All-Star games and a movie.
Who's overrated nigga out there? Who's the most overrated nigga out there, man? Niggas love this guy, this motherfucker. You left like, most overrated nigga out there of all time.
Of all time?
Now that's
The most overrated nigga, period. Who's the most overrated? Yeah, and that's the question. Who's the most overrated basketball player, period?
okay. I believe it.
Oh shit, of all time. Dang.
Yeah, that's
Just who a nigga that's sticking your craw as like, that nigga not like that. Now mind you, let me preface this by saying, we're not saying that niggas is trash or whatever. We're just saying.
No, that's exactly what I'm not saying.
Okay, that's what Fresh is saying. The Fire Nice.
He said not saying. He said not saying.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying.
Niggas, if you in the league, you can go. But at the end of the day, like, okay, we split hairs. Who's an overrated motherfucker to you, man? Who's overrated?
I got another one too.
Like, pump the brakes on this nigga, man. Like, y'all are tripping.
Dang.
I got one more person who I think overrated in time.
Who the fuck, man?
And the only reason I say that is because I saw a broadcast with some young niggas, man, and motherfuckers literally had the audacity to say this. And it just brings into perspective how people see the game different. Motherfuckers said Magic Johnson wouldn't make the league in today's game. Magic Johnson couldn't dribble with his left hand. Magic Johnson would be a bench role player if best.
You know
Now,
what,
was that
man?
shock value? I don't know. But it was said. I'm just saying.
I'm tired of people talking about like older guys wouldn't be able to anything now. For two reasons. For one, if Magic Johnson played right now, he would be Magic Johnson times 10 right now. Not saying that he would be.
I mean, you don't add no reason.
No. I'm not saying that he would have 75 points and 32 assists. I'm not saying that. But Magic Johnson would be Magic Johnson in 1970, 1960, 1980, 1990, 2000, 2020. Magic Johnson. You feel what I'm saying? That's now.
Does it matter if you saw a guy in real time, like and you saw him
Now,
to be able to provide some context?
I've seen guys
Yeah, it do be different when you see them in real time.
a little bit. But I've also seen guys who play right now who, Magic Johnson, he couldn't out-jump them, couldn't outrun them or anything. He could just get 5 MVPs, 5 chips, 3 NBA Finals MVPs, and your guy lasted in the league 4 years because all he could do was catch an alley-oop. You feel what I'm saying? So, regardless of...
You still trying to figure out who the most overrated motherfucker ever is. Now we're gonna sit on this one. Who the most overrated nigga, bro? Who the most overrated motherfucker that you've ever, you know what I mean? The motherfucker where niggas just love this nigga.
You know what? I don't know if everybody just love him, but he went to my school too, and I was like, that guy kind of overrated. The kid would be jumping.
I don't know if I ever put the Kimbe on that high pedestal though.
Nah, a lot of people thought them. It was a different league back then. But I was like, I'm glad for Georgetown. They're like, oh, he's Georgetown league, the great, lineage. And I'm like, all the block shots, man. All right, cool. You ain't blocking the shots like that's doing them.
Yo.
Who overrated, Ice Man? Come on, man.
Is it that many or you just can't think of nobody?
It depends. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man, who you thought about?
Nah, because I don't know what I'm searching for. Am I searching for like motherfuckers that they niggas thought was stars or?
No.
Who you thought was overrated?
Overrated? Okay, so the definition of overrated is
Literally
literally.
saying of all time, so I'm trying, you know what I mean? I gotta think of a nigga who motherfuckers thought was.
No, who the first motherfucker come to mind?
Yeah,
Who the that's really what it comes down to. Who the
Yeah.
first motherfucker that come to mind to you that was like,
man, I'm trying to tell you, some guys out there I think that was overrated. But I ain't saying they weren't all-time greats or even great or good. But overrated, man, there's some guys out there that's overrated, man, for real. That
Yeah, it is, but I just can't think right now. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna throw a name out there because I don't give a fuck.
Because I
I'm
could.
gonna throw two names out there, and these motherfuckers was useless in my opinion. Allen Iverson and Carmelo Anthony. I'm
It was
sorry.
overrated.
I have to totally disagree.
With overrated.
Totally disagree. I totally wholeheartedly disagree with Allen Iverson. And I disagree with.
I'm sorry. My most overrated player of all time is Scottie Pippen. But then right behind him is probably AI and Carmelo from the standpoint.
Let's speak on Scottie Pippen first.
Yeah. Overrated Scottie Pippen?
Yeah.
For being a number 2 on the team, giving you 17, 8, and 8, something like that. Like 17, 5, 19 points, 5 assists, 4, 3, and 2 steals.
Capable of doing a lot. The ceiling was high. The ceiling was high on everything. I can do whatever you need me to do. I can do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Overrated.
Okay. All right.
And so for a couple of reasons. I saw what in real time what he did when it mattered, and it was disappointment after disappointment after disappointment, and not from sheer greatness of Mike, right? Now, also saw when Mike left, and it was his opportunity. He decided, nah, you pick this guy, all right. The guy he picked hit the shot, right? So then you fast forward even more. Who was on that team that sparked the great Lakers run with Kobe and Shaq? Who did they play? Who did they play? Who was they?
Allen Iverson and Chip.
No. Who was they playing before he got there?
Oh, you talking about maybe a Dirk and a Carmelones.
They were playing the Blazers. They playing the Portland Trail Blazers.
Oh,
If you look up his numbers in that last game during that great LA Lakers comeback,
that's fair.
it's disgusting. So then we fast forward, and then he jumps on the Rockets thing. Him, Charles Barkley, Elijah Wan, he was trash.
He was old.
Yeah, he was old. Okay, so if he wasn't old, then we go back to his prime years. We're really talking about a 16-point per game guy.
Well, I think you
Second
overlooking.
fiddle to a guy.
I think you overlooking.
30 point per game guy.
You just said the most overrated.
I'm saying,
That's just the most overrated guy.
And that's fair.
I'm talking about the migraine.
That's fair.
I'm talking about
That's
the
fair.
injuries at the wrong time, and then the decision to do the rehab. I mean, that's just my that's number one.
He was the main piece on a Portland team that should have won the game against the Lakers. They should have won. Y'all didn't. Fuck y'all. But he was the main piece on the Portland Trail Blazers team. And he fell in the league out the year when Mike left. averaged like 20 some odd points.
Relax.
Leaving that out.
You said 20 something. What? You said 20
The
something
year
like
Mike left.
like what? 20 something like
I
what?
want to say about 24.
No,
Look that up.
no.
Look it up. Look it up. My man.
That's what we do.
That's
here.
what we got to do.
Eastern Conference Finals.
24
Yeah.
points. At least 24 points. At least
24. You think that much?
I think that I believe that much. And that's what we do here. 24 points. And that's what I'm saying when you say about the Houston years and the other, the other Michael Jordan years. I'm like, well, I ain't scoffing at the Michael Jordan years, but the Houston years, yeah, they were some winning years. But you be leaving out when he should have been considered an MVP race with Mike left. And they still won 50 games, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying?
That's what the record is like. We got to put some context in this. They added Tony Kukoc, who was at the time the best European player on the planet. So, what year are we talking about? We talking about the year Mike left?
I guess it was 90.
I'm gonna give you some context here. Scottie Pippen.
94.
Scottie Pippen peaked out at 22 points a game, 5 assists, and 6 rebounds
On a 50-win team. Now that was a little bit less than what I thought he averaged. That was a little bit less.
I mean, we're only talking a bucket. So let's, I ain't obscuring, but we're only talking a bucket. So, okay, 24, 22 points a game. We're talking a bucket.
But also, people got to remember that he should have been considered the MVP of that season because when they said they had about 50 wins that year as well, and he was the main guy in his prime years, like you like to say. Okay, well, 22, I made it topped out there, but look at what my team did with me topping out, being the main guy. Okay, 22 points, all right, cool. But I gave him this and this, and it was all meaningful assists, meaningful rebounds, because we needed all of them, because without me getting them, we don't know what we got.
So, I look at it from the standpoint of Mike left. They added another superior skilled player on the team, which is what all management is supposed to do. Good job, Chicago Bulls. It made Scotty's job a lot easier because, as you see, Tony Kukoc was able to do things that Scotty couldn't do. It's not like you adding a terrible basketball player.
No.
You had the best European basketball player you could add.
What you just said?
It's not like you add a trash nigga. You add a guy that can pretty much do everything you do.
So
from the versatility standpoint.
So what did Pippen do for Jordan?
What
Did
did
nothing for him?
What did he do for him?
Yeah, you saying
Everything he
you
could
saying Kukoc came in and helped Pippen. What did Pippen do for Jordan?
Same thing. Same thing.
So
He helped.
So now how's he overrated? You was ready to say he overrated because Kukoc came in and had to help him. But knowing he helped this man for 6 years with 6 championships.
I'm saying he's overrated because he's not one of the greatest basketball players ever.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair.
In your eyes? He is
Because we all talk about respect. Because I did not. I just don't think. I think the numbers supported when Mike wasn't there. I think the numbers supported when Mike was there. He just came up too short in moments where it mattered. That's just, what I saw. I saw a guy that came up extremely short in very questionable moments.
So let me ask you this.
Sure.
So if you're not good enough to overcome those situations, does that still make you overrated?
No. What I want you to
That's
consider.
what I was thinking.
What I want you to consider is, because just like there's levels of success, there's levels of failure, right?
Sure.
And there's levels of, you just coming up short. It's one thing to go out gunning, right? Right? It's one thing to go out. So we let's point back. Let's okay. So when we look at the great Larry Bird, Dominique battle in the playoffs, you know, I mean, both of them niggas had plus 40, right?
Yeah.
We look at the great, you know, Jamal Murray and, you know, Donovan Mitchell battle. Both of them niggas had 50, right?
Yeah.
That's going down gunning.
Yeah.
I don't remember an instance where Scottie Pippen ever went down gunning.
That's fair.
I just
That's
don't.
fucking fair.
And I could be
fair.
and I could be wrong. I may have missed it, but I just don't remember him
That's
ever
fair.
going down. I don't remember him coming up in a situation where you like, God damn, Scottie Pippen went in. You know what I'm saying? If they lost, it's this nigga is on the sideline with ice pack on his neck, showing his back. He got a migraine, or he not even there, or he don't want to go in the game. That's the shit I'm talking about. Now, give me an instance where he showed the fuck out. You know what I mean? It's levels to lose it, it's levels to win it.
I think that the stats may not bear it out, but Game 7 when they lost to the Lakers, I think he showed up. Now, mind
You mean to jumpstart the Great Laker dynasty?
Yeah.
He had 8 points that game. He shot a paltry percent. Matter of fact, no, I'm gonna let you go ahead and talk, and I'll bring it up for you.
Now, mind you, Scotty was a guy that could give you a lot of other things, but his shooting might have been what shot him out of it. Granted, I give you that. But always look at it from a different perspective. You got Michael Jordan, and you got everybody else. Then we got Michael Jordan over here, we're not talking about him. Talking about the Dream, Charles Barkley, Karl Malone. Scottie Pippen is somewhere in that conversation. Not saying first, but he's in that conversation with those guys. You feel what I'm saying? He's not in the conversation with Michael Jordan. Nobody is. Ghosts are. But as far as that time, the other people.
You think he's in the conversation with Barkley and Karl Malone?
Talent-wise, yeah. But production and how you carry your team, you might be a little bit behind them. But
in that conversation, because they led teams. They've been for years. You know what I'm saying? Like
now, Karl Malone, he probably not on the same.
Scotty did it for maybe 2 the years Mike was out. You know what I mean? And it is probably what 2 years. And Mike came back that 3rd year. In the middle of that 3rd year. You know what I'm saying? But those guys were cogs on their teams. You know what I'm saying?
Now, mind you, I'm not here to argue you down. You know, so you gotta be down about Scottie Pippen. You know,
I don't think he's overrated.
I'm gonna read you his numbers
he
off
was.
that game. And that famed 2000 game, you all remember, right?
What?
The Kobe Bryant alley-oop to
Yeah.
They run up court, and
Yeah.
Dynasty's born. Scottie Pippen was on that team in 2000.
Yes, he was.
9 points, 3 assists.
Damn.
That's all.
Damn. That seemed a little bit more significant than what my man made it up to be.
It did same. Now,
Damn.
does that mean he's trash? No. But we're talking about overrated. We're talking about guys who they exalt on a certain level.
That's fair.
We're talking about overrated.
But I can't say that because it's plenty of times he showed up in 6 championships.
And
He showed up.
and a lot of times, like when Patrick Beverly, you know what I'm saying, Tony Allen.
Can I ask something? Go ahead. So we have an instance where he refuses to go in game. Tony Kukoc is the game winner.
He already down there.
We saw in The Last Dance where this guy elected to say fuck it, and I'm just going, because of a bad contract, that's his own doing.
That has nothing to do with your play.
That's nothing to do with you.
That has nothing to do with you doing. That doesn't make you underrated
But
because of
what I just read to you.
you read, but through that season and you ain't read the 6 other. That's what he averaged through the series.
You want to read the season stats from that year? Okay.
I don't know.
Is that what you want to hear? Does that sound?
I don't know what they are.
No. Do you want to? Is that what
I
you
want
want
to
to hear?
hear. That ain't what you're not gonna say, but we can hear them.
No, I mean, I'm gonna give you. I want to give you what you're asking for. If you're asking me what was his season stats for that year, right? Well, that year, let's see, what was that? That's 2000. Let's look. Let's take a look. So the year 2000. Good old Scotty Pippen.
Yeah. Post a few on stats.
Good old Scotty.
Yeah, I see a whole bunch of stats there.
Good old
I
Scotty.
know he didn't average a lot. I know he didn't average a lot because they had like 10 niggas. They had like 6 niggas that averaged double figures. Rashid, Bonzi, him, probably Gary Trent.
So let me give you his numbers. Let me give you his numbers from the time he joined Portland, just his entire time. Where do you think they were?
12, 14, and probably a 9 in there somewhere.
What do you think they were?
I don't know. 12,
All right.
14.
So the first year he got to Portland, he averaged 12.5. The second year he was in Portland, he averaged 11.3.
Wow.
The third year he's in Portland, he averaged 10.6. Fourth year in Portland, he averaged 10.8.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Sounds about right.
So for those that may think that, okay, in the year he was in Houston, he averaged 14.5. Okay, and then he peaked out. Okay, so he had some very good years with the Bulls, of course.
When did he get to Portland?
When?
Yeah.
He got to Portland in 99, 2000.
99,
That is
2000. That's what?
10 years. 10 years in the
Nah, he came to the league. That's 14 years in the league. In 86.
87, 88, he was 22 years old. All right.
13 years in the league.
22 years old.
Man, talk about the Bulls years.
Let's talk about the Bulls.
Talk about them Bulls years.
So his first year in the league in Chicago, he averaged 7.9 a game. Second year, he averaged 14.4. His third year, he averaged 16.5. Second year, he averaged 17. Fourth year, he averaged 17.8. His third year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth year, he averaged 21 a game. Okay, that's a playoff year. Not only, consequently, that's a championship year. Okay. Next year, he averaged 18.6. Of course, championship year. Then next year, he averaged 22. Next year, he averaged 21. Next year, 19.
And that you ain't even seeing the other stats, which I know are like 5, 4,
Okay, so let's
such and such.
So where do you want me to start at?
Wherever you want to start. And the Bulls, at the Bulls.
So
Not 13 years in, at the Bulls.
it's prime.
It's prime, at the Bulls.
So age. So
At the Bulls.
We're saying age 26 years old, right?
When they was in that run.
Age 26.
And all that.
Okay.
What was he doing?
Age 26.
And
26. 21 points a game. Let's see, 7 assists and 7 rebounds.
I don't sound overrated to me. And I'm second fiddle on the team. I'm the
Now-
second go-to guy.
So
Hey. That's number one number.
27, 18.6, 7 boards, 6 assists. 93, 94, 22 a game, 6 and 8.
You want to take that right there?
6 and 8.
Yeah.
So then, 94, 95, 21 and 4. He averaged 8 and 5, 8 rebounds, 5 assists.
That's overrated than you. You worried about the Houston and Portland years? That's 13 years in.
You should
Oh,
have.
no, because you said he didn't want to get in the game. Nah, man, that ain't got nothing to do with that.
Nah, it's 29. You're in your prime.
Nah, but I'm saying.
You're in your prime, 29.
I'm
To me, your prime is what? 20. I've always said your prime is like
29 you
32,
were in your prime.
Yeah, 27 to 23 years old. That's your prime because you blended
What, 23 to 27?
27 to 33. That's your prime.
Yes.
That's your prime.
Like
You blended the perfection of
So-
the acumen.
So what you telling me is all these stats you just read was before his prime?
Yeah.
All right, so when he got to his prime, all right, go ahead, keep going, go ahead.
No, finish your thought.
Nah, go. I want to hear the stats. I want to hear the stats in his prime. Because we heard the stats before his prime and they were phenomenal. Now I want to hear the stats in his prime.
So then you got in the last of the title run, 20.2, 6 rebounds, 5 assists.
That's good.
Now, that is at the age of 31. That's at the age of
That's
31.
solid. 26 and 5.
Right, it is
That's
solid.
solid.
Yes, it's solid. So then you play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years after that, after your prime.
8 years for who?
For him.
I'm saying for Portland and Houston.
For him. No, you played a year with Chicago.
All right.
And then you played a year with Houston. And you played in Portland.
All right, I got you.
Now, mind you, you had, those are favorable teams. You not carrying those teams.
Sure. Pretty much same role we always had.
So, okay, so we looking at, we already rattled off those.
Yeah.
I think he's overrated. That's just me. Who you guys overrated?
Oh, no.
You don't know?
I'm saying in today's
Who you
game,
guys overrated?
in today's game,
Kyrie a little.
Yeah, Kyrie.
nah, in today's game, I would have to go with Devin Booker. I think Devin Booker is overrated.
Okay.
But over, you know what I mean? It's hard for me, you know what I'm saying, to just narrow down on one nigga. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to just narrow down on one nigga.
What did we learn from the preseason?
The Dolphins gonna be nice.
NFL preseason. What did we learn from the NFL preseason?
Malcolm.
We got a punter accused of rape accusations, man. What the fuck's going
Keep
on?
your dick in your motherfucking hand. In your pants.
Whoa, mystical set. Keep on my dick in my hand.
I'm sorry.
Be cool.
He said he ain't raped her.
We're gonna see. Now, I'm gonna give the benefit of the doubt. He didn't rape her.
He said he got evidence.
But Buffalo also had to do what they had to do. Let them
Oh yeah,
go.
they gotta save face.
But I ain't gonna lie, he's a hell of a punter. This one was putting off like 70, 80 yards punts. Like, God damn. So, soon as he get back to, he can be a shit status, he's gonna be in somebody's team.
But the Dolphins will be nice. Yeah, stop. Yeah. You better than the Beatles. You just beat yours.
And I don't think he's better than the Eagles, but
Beat yours.
I saw him play and I was like, oh, that's all I kind of need to say. He can't unlock that golden connection like Patrick Mahomes
You
could.
gotta score all in one big play.
Nah, that's part of it. That's part of Tyreek Hill. You can unlock it. It seems like some of my love can unlock it. That's all. We'll see that. We'll see. It's good to go 3 yards undercut. Okay, yeah. All right. That's the difference between 7 points and no points.
Yeah.
you know.
Especially oh, my bad. Y'all ain't y'all anymore, my bad.
Alright, so listen, man, Fire Nights Fantasy League, man, get with Fresh
Yes.
Fire, man. I don't normally do the fantasy league, and it's the reason why, man, because I kind of stink at it. But I'm gonna give it a shot again because fuck it, I'm a gamer and Cookie ain't raised no sucker. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, Cookie ain't raised no sucker. And P don't do nothing for shock value, baby. P, I'm gonna lay my whole argument out. I don't do nothing for shock value, baby. Understand that. I lay my shit out and I lay it out thoroughly. Statistics, rationale,
Right.
reasoning,
Right.
you know what I mean, context, all that. I don't do nothing for shock value, baby. You know what I mean? So listen, man, we appreciate y'all walking with us, man. I love this walk every week, man.
Thank y'all, man.
You know,
Thank
I
y'all.
love this shit, man. Closing thoughts, bro.
Man, glad y'all walk with us, man. Take this walk again next week, man. You know.
Same bad time, same bad channel.
Same bad time, same bad channel.
Thoughts, bro?
Thank y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like bro said, thank y'all for walking with us. I do believe in the death penalty in some instances. Kyrie Irving is one of my favorite players, but what he
Kyrie Irving is my favorite player.
But what he does doesn't contribute a lot to winning.
Fuck that.
Wins a game. I like winning. I show up and score no points, but we won. I'll talk all the shit. But with that being said, man, thank y'all. Thank y'all for fucking with us. Thank you.
Yeah! Once again, man, we appreciate y'all walking with us, man. It's the Fire Nights Experience. That black culture journey, man, sports, entertainment, current events, politics, man. Let's talk about it, man. Once again, man, we love y'all. We out.
We live at the Fire Nights podcast, man, and it's certain moments that you have when you do these things, and I think it's more the moment.
These guys came from Woodland, Delaware.
Where was you from?
Now,
from the
who's
east
fighting
side.
right now? Who's fighting right now? Who's fighting right now? Who's Let me see him. Let me see him. Let me see him. Let me see him.
Listen, man, it's your boy Wit Us, man. Fire Nights Podcast.
Let me see him. Let me see him.
I don't know if I want the job spirit, man.